His name's Rhapsody, my name's Teak, and this is Rhaps and Teak Take a Peek at another week of games this week with Wildermyth. How you doing, Rhapsody?
Very well yourself, bud. Hang on. Very well in yourself. It's been a nice contemplative, meditative week on my part. How about yourself? But actually, sorry, just before we get to that, a word from our sponsors. Lisa mattresses. They fit in a shoebox. It's a shoebox, but it's a very large shoebox, a mattress-sized shoebox, and then it comes straight to your door, and you can sleep on it. I'm certain.
You could. Almost anybody would be able to do so.
Use coupon
like
code
old...
Rhaps and Steak. They misspelled it. It was unfortunate.
But we accept payment for exchange of these goods and services. I can't. The thing is that actually I have a really good audio gear chain for doing the more, like jazzy tones, late night podcast or kind of DJ voice. But and I've embraced that for a few different segments in my own way. But when I get too into it, hey Rhapsody, how you doing? I can only think of the old NPR SNL skit. If you've seen any of these.
No, I may not have.
They all talk in really calm monotones about both mundane and kind of sad occurrences. Yeah, this weekend I went out and I bought a lot of rat traps because I have a horrible rat problem. And it's just so weird. They're just completely de-emphasized everything, and they're just talking about all these crappy events and stuff. Man, it's so funny. Yeah, so I don't know. I always think of that kind of skit when I get a little too close to the mic, and then I'm like, okay, all right, that's enough. That's enough. We go back to normal.
I find it easy to just suddenly slip into such relaxation whilst doing that I don't talk as much.
That you fall asleep. But sometimes that can be correct. When I did the atmospheric games stream, I felt really good about speaking less because that was part of the point, So maybe it's okay. It's hard for creators to imagine that there's a world where it's correct for us to shut up, but it's probably not real. I'm not.
It can't be.
I'm quite convinced it's not real. Yeah, we should probably only speak. Speaking of speaking, would you like to speak about Wildermyth? The video game on the screen?
I'd love to.
I'm quite excited. You're quite excited. In fact, a couple weeks ago, we had a fiery and heated debate. All right, behind the scenes, you don't know this, but every couple weeks, Rhaps and I absolutely duke it out about what we're gonna play. Okay, a Titans clash, and we were trying to decide if we wanted to play Spellcaster University, which we ended up playing, or Wildermyth. We're very excited for both. And we ended up choosing one, not because we thought we would like it more, but actually some other considerations. We were more excited for that kind of, strategic simulation element. So this week, we finally get to the game that we've been excited to check out for a couple weeks now, and that's Wildermyth. So this is what the Steam page says in description of the game. Wildermyth follows heroes over their whole careers, from their pitchfork days to their powerful primes, and on into old age and memory. It's a party-based procedural storytelling RPG where tactical combat and story decisions will alter your world and reshape your cast of characters. Story-rich, party-based RPG, choices matter, and notably, optionally cooperative, too. You can play multiplayer in this game. So it's got this kind of story tale art style, which I think is really charming, but otherwise I know almost nothing about it. It's got some overworld map that looks kind of like Catan. But that's all I know. So I'm quite excited to check it out, and I think the suggestions have been quite high praise, right, Rhaps?
Very largely across the board, which is exactly what I was about to get into. I also have very, very little experience with it because I've been trying to avoid it.
Because of Take a Peek.
Exactly, but it's difficult to have done so because so many people lauded so much praise on it. That I know things errantly and to the side about it, but I feel like every single time I would scan halfway through the recommendation to play it and then try and close my eyes before I started seeing the reasons to play it. I know that
I get it. I'll do it.
Huge amount of the focus of them appears to be based on the emergent Ludo narrative of playing the game, right? Like a lot of games will say your choices matter, you know, the things will impact the way that the world forms after the fact. Apparently that is very, very heavily utilized, if not a key core concept of the Pool of Wildermyth.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. It's kind of slapped on sometimes, right? And it doesn't really feel like it's there in spirit.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, you put some branches in the dialogue tree, right?
Like,
yeah.
I feel bad when a character of mine dies in Darkest Dungeon. I think that's one of the other games that's done Ludo-narrative really, really strongly, really, really powerfully. But I don't in XCOM even sometimes.
What's a Ludo-narrative, Rhapsody? For you know, not for me, but for someone who might not know what that means.
From the Latin ludo or ludic to do relating with game or play. And then narrative. So it's the narrative that emerges over the course of playing it, but through the way you interact with it.
Not the written, not the designed narrative. It's an emergent narrative. Okay.
Yes.
I see.
And specifically,
or rather, someone else, not me. No, really, actually, I've heard this word so many times, and I actually never knew what it meant until now. So
like the example that a lot of people talk about it in context of is Ludo-narrative dissonance, where the emergent story of the way that you are interacting with the game clashes with the game's narrative itself.
Okay.
But a game can also just have a very strong Ludo-narrative, such as Darkest Dungeon. Like, when I lose a member of my party and the rest of them start getting stressed and insane, man, I'm feeling stressed and insane as well. That's Ludo-narrative cohesion,
which is really cohesive. Yeah, and I think that's dark. Not to get too much onto Darkest Dungeon, but honestly, I think that's the game's greatest strength.
It is
one of the most cohesive games I have ever played, aesthetically, in terms of narrative, in terms of gameplay. That's its superpower.
It is, and that's exactly why when that was the axis of, or rather the criteria by which this was criterion singular, by which this was consistently recommended, immediately perked up my ears. Because you know, other games have tried to do it. There were, you know, a lot of other games that tried to do a Darkest Dungeon kind of thing after Darkest Dungeon, and in all of them I was like, I don't care if I lose that character. I've never cared if I lost that character.
So this is fascinating because now that I understand what Ludo-narrative is, I can see that Ludo-narrative dissonance is something that might have some variance depending on player. You know, maybe you play a game in a way that really makes sense. Your natural inclination is to play the game in a way that matches, or maybe you're me, and even though your character is, you know, Nerevar, the chosen to save the world, you spend 100 hours opening random crates.
You have
certainly, you have to, and your character needs to, and you can't justify it at all. This is like classic Ludo-narrative dissonance, right?
Like, exactly. Like the world is about to die, but hang on, there's two paths in front of me. That one smells like plot.
You heard me say this on stream. Oh no, that scent. I know that scent. Yeah, no. Bloodhound for plot, baby. That's my stupid superpower. Yeah, let's get in.
I'm gonna have to turn my nose up at that plot. I'm going in the other direction. I'm gonna go find an alley to rifle through. The game has really, really quite comprehensive options here. One of the ones that I will pull immediate attention to is the ability to turn off screen shake, which we will do.
Just principally as creators, you almost just do it.
Good lord. Other than that, I don't have any of these that I will immediately jump into, except I'm just really impressed. Later. I'm just really impressed.
Well, it kind of makes sense because they framed it as a game that you're going to want to play over and over as your legacy grows and as your characters' narratives weave together. And so it's like you might decide later on that you want to, you know, slightly reduce the flam.
That is something that is being pointed to by a screen that we skipped at the very start, as I'd already named our character. Greeting, what are you called? As you play, your account will build up a rich legacy. So we're talking about the development of something that you will be experiencing over the course of your entire time with it. Content note, amputation, lot of limbs.
Do you want to do the quick scan of the how to play? Yeah.
I'd love to know a little bit about how to play here.
So this is kind of referencey. And something that I have found is, I'm sure we can bring it up during the game too, and so we don't need to go through it super thorough. I don't think that reading a reference as a tutorial is very effective, but we just wanted to scan it to get an idea of what kind of things we might care about. So we've got some, D&D style combat considerations like flanking.
Yep.
All right.
That's
and it's just
actually
hit chance
particularly
here.
interesting. The flank considers 90 degrees or more. So, like, adjacent diagonal unit would also provide flanking to it.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. As long as you're not on a neighboring square, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Reduce damage, and it does look like there's diagonal attacks too. Action points. Okay, this is action economy.
Things
There's
of that
some
sort.
concept of cover, which probably reduces hit chance. Everything seems to be multiplying bases on.
They have a chance
Provides
to damage the
protection.
scenery instead of the unit if they pass through.
Oh, okay. Great
Invisible
plane.
armor.
Okay. Fusion. And then we're probably... Oh, wow. What's that? Interview connect. Oh, interesting. Oh, this is a little bit like Divinity, actually.
Yeah.
Kind of that highly interactable environment, use spells on objects, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that feels particularly good because the game is definitely trying to evoke a kind of feel of like a D&D kind of party kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you can often find yourself in situations, especially like with inexperienced DMs or DMs who like really heavily focus on combat. You can find yourself in a situation where like, I'm a bard or a cleric and I'm not really doing much. Like I got like a bunch of skills to help out of combat, but we're not really doing out of combat stuff. And then when I try and use them in combat, you're like, okay, you trip over and then die. It's like, but I want to contribute in some interesting ways.
Contribute. I'm here to play with the team.
Different weapon types, fire spread. We can see it gets more comprehensive going down with objectives.
And here
retreating,
we get into the kind of the meta.
Exactly. I will mention at this point as well, this game, as is currently being demonstrated on the screen, is a lot deeper than it seems like we will have the ability to broach the all of, or even the 90 to 50 possible % of in a Rhaps Teak Take a Peek. So instead, we are going to stick to more of a kind of soft-ish 2-hour limit. We may not manage to completely explore things by that point, but we're not going to manage to completely explore them if we did this for 24 hours. So at some point, we've just got to draw the line.
The smell of the game, right? As what the new fighting game. Yeah. Plot.
The essence.
Where are you? Yeah.
Banners, jobs for heroes. It's got more and more. It's also got an autosave feature and an undo. There you go. I think that is probably enough focus on that for the moment. Let's get ourselves a new story.
And it revealed that there were two main sections of the game, which is map, combat, right? Map and combat, which is honestly by itself useful to have referenced. Okay, new story. May I exposit?
Please
exposit. The Age of Ulstrix, a 3-chapter story that is geared toward new players. Face off against the implacable Gorgon leader, Ulstrix.
Teak, could you define implacable for me? I've seen it so many times. I have no clue what it means.
So the root is placate.
Placate. Can't placate them.
It's not placated, yeah. You cannot placate them. They cannot be pleased. They cannot be calmed.
I think part of it is my mind was looking at that and go, implaceable Gorgon leader.
Oh, interesting.
You can't put
I thought it was
going to
go plaque. Like, we just can't clean their teeth. We simply cannot.
I'm certain you're correct.
Yeah.
We've got some difficulty settings here. Storyteller, adventurer, tragic hero, walking lunch, and custom.
Walking lunch. What a way to describe the masochist difficulty.
For those who revel in misery.
Love it.
Tragic hero is brutal, combat unforgiving, few get unscathed. Standard difficulty of the lands are dangerous, but won't punish you too harshly for your mistakes. We'll make a couple of mistakes in the early here, so I think that's a reasonable one.
Do you want to look at customized difficulty just to see like what kind of sliders it gives you? Okay, it just splits it into 2.
It splits it into 2, but there's also a developer's note. Please let us know what options you would like to see here. It's worth noting this game came out, I want to say about 2 months ago, a month and a half.
Pretty new. Hot off the presses. Probably still live. Yeah. Which is kind of a cool trend these days, with digital game releases, a game still being a little bit not fully differentiated. I honestly like that.
Mm-hmm. It's also worth noting, like, for a game that came out a month and a half ago, it already has custom mod support. Like, baked into a bunch of the different menus. That is deeply intriguing to see.
Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. 478058. All right. Future warrior. Poetical hothead.
An aloof
hunter?
greed wagon in that future hunter.
What a name. Greedwagon. Yeah, I like that band. REO Greedwagon. Future mystic, cowardly peacemaker. Okay. What do you want to be?
Well, I mean, we do have the ability to hard reroll all
That's
or just randomize individuals. That's a party.
Just keep them. Just keep them. I'm about taking what the, give me what the chips give.
Do we want to rename any of them at all, or do we want to just give them their natural name? Cody Gaunt, the farmer.
I'm about just going. In games like this, I think that I have the most fun when I just like take what I'm given and let them expand from there.
I'm almost tempted to give this character a name.
No, they totally look like it.
They totally look like him. It's okay. They don't have to have that name yet. There's also an advanced start where you can start with calamities.
This is who I saw. This is the face I saw when we were looking at a little video before for all of our preset. It's that face.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh no.
Let's start.
In we go. Growing the lands. It takes just a bit of time to smoke this book. You shouldn't smoke books.
I mean, look, the game says to do it. Smoke the book by Douglas Austin. So I need to find Douglas Austin, sit next to him.
And smoke this book.
And then smoke this book, apparently.
Okay. What are we looking at? There's room in it for another story. It's cold. I'm stuck here. Live or die, man! From what I've seen here, I could help someone else. Maybe they'll find the book in my bones. Sure hope so. Right, then this is the beginning. Here in our yondering country, something in the woods is very strange. So is this the procedural storytelling? Is it giving us like random? And so we're looking at, I think we're supposed to be telling a kind of a story here. Where we're looking upon a jagged mountain vista. I think this is telling, this is like setting the place.
For us to tell the story inside of? I thought it was more using our actions to dictate the story rather than asking us to provide the story.
I know. I've not been given direction. I can't. Is this our character backstories? The sun does rise though on the jagged mountain line.
The seasons have since changed.
Mm-hmm. Bothered only by a hole in his sock, a young man named Yorvir takes the seasonal road to the town of Glamfurrow.
Have to avoid Master Quambrin's window. He'll throw another pot at me.
Yeah, wouldn't want to get hit by a pot.
His son had it coming, though? Didn't he? Want to get me in a barrel fight? I'll oblige. Simple as that.
So I think our characters are, their journeys are coming together here.
Mm-hmm.
Breeze is light that day. Birds are timid.
It would make sense because the character that we were first introduced to there was also cowardly. So perhaps the fact that they were cowardly was instituted, like the idea that they were like, oh, maybe I should go outside and help. I don't know.
Yeah. In fact, the whole world is taking a breath, ready to leap in the sea. And this is the one who's trying not to get hit by pots.
Mm-hmm. I'm already there, huh? That's the hard part. Getting Tyredia out of the house? Wonder if her bread baking idea ever worked out. Or her dice game. Or she bought that press. Or... that's smoke.
Uh-oh. Smoke the book. Fluttering flames roost among the far-off rooftops. Yorvir hurries towards town, thinking of Tirietta, a young woman whom he's known since boyhood.
Here's our contribution.
Okay.
Watch me worry, and she's fine. She must have tried to cook breakfast again.
That's friendship.
That woman will have some explaining to do if she dies.
What the heck, man? If you die, I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna bring you back and kill you again.
I'm gonna bring you back. What are you feeling like?
I kind of like getting him off on the right foot with a little bit of friendship here.
Yeah.
Although,
I like that.
he's a bit of a hothead, so like, you know, thematically being angry. So this doesn't really make sense. This is kind of like a nonchalance that doesn't seem to suit.
Yeah.
I think friendship.
I like friendship here.
Tirietta, you all right? I'll get you out. Just make a little noise.
Constructing mission. Articulating splines.
In a green border, a hero has an action left. In a yellow border, the hero has no more actions. The hero can do a single move, which takes one action, or a double move, dash or some such, which takes both actions. All heroes get to take their turns in any order, and then all enemies take their turns, rather than having a timeline system across which we're spread.
I see. It's using green and yellow to represent the two moves. Okay.
Yes.
I get it.
So if I go outside of my own border here, we can see that it would use the secondary move.
Yep. Which I like that move that you actually were showing there up into the corner, because remember, fire spreads. So you kind of want to dodge it around it. I like a double move. I mean, I guess we'll get to do the double move.
Yeah, we can do it after the fact. Although, we have the ability to use our next action to extinguish. It's a single action, ends the turn. Spend an action to put out one tile of fire. And it is anything in our surrounding 8.
Which feels like... I'm a little worried about spending time putting out the fires that are outside.
Oh, the game gave me a tutorial tip that was like, put out the fires.
Oh, really? Okay.
It says
so
in the top left as well.
Using the, okay. Because I'm thinking, like, we got to go put the fires out that are indoors, right?
No. You see, what they're going to want to do is when the hearse rolls through here to pick up all of the villagers, they're going to have to get away from the town without so much ash on their tires. So I'm putting out all of the fires in the street so that they can access all the corpses.
That's so that you can keep the hearse clean. No, that's very thoughtful of you.
Thank you. I thought
somebody's thinking. It looks almost like there was a nameplate that came up above the bush as you passed it, which I'm going to have to pay closer attention to.
There was.
Oh, bushes
Gives
and rocks.
Us some information about it as a feature. Bushes and rocks, 4 out of 4 health. It is good cover for adjacent figures made of plant and stone.
Okay.
Again, we get back to the kind of like divinity information, right? Made of plant and stone, so that you know whether or not it interacts with, you know, corrupt plants or mellowed stone.
Yeah, I'm really getting that feeling where it's this is very D&D. I'll reserve judgment. I really like where I think this is going. I really like where I think this is going.
Her house is still standing, at least. Tirietta! Open up! You have help out here! Would you like to take Tirietta?
He doesn't know. Thump.
Why is no one... The door unlocks. Tirietta shoves it open. Hey, do you not smell the...
I smell the smoke. Get inside.
Hup. Thum. Your bow.
Yeah, there's things in the streets. You didn't see any? Like monsters. I don't know. I've got one trapped behind. Behind the house.
They just rampaged in. They just rampaged in all of a sudden? Why not kill it?
Right. So here, I've got some tools around. You're stronger than I am. You can swing something pretty good. I bet we can at least drive it off.
Well, I'd like to keep this... Sorry. Well, I'd like to keep this creature at arm's length with a pitchfork. If it breaks stones, it'll break bones, says a pickaxe. This is for cooking. Why'd I grab this?
He's a hothead. Yes, of course it's the frying pan.
I'm sure we can shut it up, whatever it is.
Or we can't. We'll find out once we open that door.
Foe cards. This is a roe. Hooves thrown sloppily around beneath it. It runs staggering, bellowing its agony. That is an example of the kind of thing that I look at as the construction of a sentence and just go, hooves thrown sloppily, hooves thrown sloppily around beneath it. It runs staggering, bellowing its agony.
Yeah, it's poetry in motion.
And we're poetic
Science.
as his character. We're a hothead, but we're poetic as well. It's time to kill that beast.
But it's behind the house. You're going the right way.
Mm-hmm.
She's behind us.
Wait.
Oh, no, that's where we came in. No,
Yeah,
you're right. We have to go that yonder. The yondering. Should we go open the door with her, or do we want to get our dude in first and get him on the front line? Poetry in motion.
Look at how much space there is. This feels like an actual character sheet for a character in D&D more than it feels like a character sheet for a character in game.
Can I go ahead and I'm gonna offer something that I really should wait and offer as a reflection after we finish playing the game. But
No,
I'm gonna
please.
do it in anticipation. So what fills me with excitement is that when I used to live in the Bay, when I used to live in San Francisco, I played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. I played a lot of tabletop role-playing games with friends. And I learned a lot about my tastes, because I've been playing video games forever, but I didn't start doing any tabletop stuff until fairly recently in my life. And one of the first things that I discovered when I was playing tabletop is that I didn't really care about the min-maxing or the character sheets or anything, which will sound weird to some people who watch me because I spend so much time digging into the details and the nitty-gritty and precision in video games that I play, right? But at the tabletop, all I really wanted to do was roleplay. I wanted to flip a coin sometimes instead of rolling a die. You know, I just wanted to embrace the storytelling and the whims of fate and the interactions, and I really love tabletop. But there's no replacement for the convenience of digital media, digital consumption, especially, you know, with remote living and with moving and all this stuff, you know? And so I kind of started to learn, well, I love tabletop games for this social storytelling experience. I love video games for this more manufactured experience. I don't really want a video game in my tabletop, but I would kind of like the spirit of the tabletop in the game. And there have been some games that just were D&D. And to be honest, I think they end up falling flat because they end up just leaning in on the crunchiness aspect of it. You know, it's like you can't just take D&D and translate it directly into a game. You can, and many people will enjoy it, but I often feel that I would rather be playing D&D when I play those games. What I want is something that captures the spirit of D&D, that embraces the storytelling, but then also uses the fact that it's a game instead of just being inconveniently a game. And like this game is trying real hard to do that. And I've not seen really very many games that embrace the spirit of D&D without just being D&D, and I think that's cool.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's got elements that will emerge that could easily be things that a lenient DM would be comfortable with. Like, I used to fight with Yorvir way back in the day. We used to be friends and we trained together. So surely we get a little bonus to our AC when we're near one another. It's like, sometimes the DM is just like, no, of course not. That's outside of the mechanics. And sometimes they're like, look, that kind of sounds cool as an emergent story trope. Yeah, sure, do it.
That you're giving me more hooks, right? The more handholds you give me on this cliff face, the easier we can scale it. So plus 10 block when walling with Yorvir. Time to wall. I am Yorvir. We're standing right by the fireplace too, which is interesting.
We are indeed. We do have the ability to attack scenery or some such, but we may just want to wall, wait a turn, and then have Yorvir open the door.
And you see the little wall thing. I guess walling is just adjacency.
Yes, that was one that was pulled up. I wonder if it'll give us anything about it. Doesn't necessarily. Ooh,
Probably
light lamp.
will.
Light nearby lamp.
Sure. Yeah,
you know what this situation needs? More fire.
What I really want is to improve the lighting here. How will we get good pictures of slaughtering this monster? Revealed. Revelio.
Ah,
There it is.
now it's telling us. Walling, reduced damage. Stand adjacent to an ally to wall with them. Walling reduces incoming damage by 1 and does not stack.
Okay, so you can't make a 10-person wall. That's fair.
Evidently
Although it looks
not.
like our team is only going to be 3 anyway. Out of range. I think that we wall, let them come towards us, and then bow them down.
Makes a whole mess of sense. Do we want to like bottleneck them?
Well, what's their range? Yeah, we could totally do that.
I'm assuming they're going to aggro on us. That is an assumption on my part, to be sure.
Right.
That appears
Seem
it may
eager.
be flawed. Oh, it's just going to continue lighting fires. All right. Let's have you wait, and then you move forward, and then wait.
What's that like? Is that a well in the middle or a table?
Yeah, it seems like a potter's wheel. I'm glad I
It seems
covered
like
over
a
it,
potter's
'cause
wheel.
I thought it was I thought it was, what's the thing you use to churn butter?
A
Your
butter
hands in a
churn.
bucket. A butter churn, that'll probably be it, yeah.
I think that's what it's called, actually. It's just a churn. Both the noun and the verb? I don't know. I'm not a churnist, a churnologist. I just work here.
Perfect.
We're putting out the fire to reduce the risk.
Okay, so that
When
slam is not going to be close
Almost
enough,
die.
right?
Oh, I see. You would have to use the 2 moves. Okay, so here, yeah, we do a little joust. We do a little...
Mm-hmm.
We've got cover there, maybe? Does the wheel count as cover? Or is it just...
It may well do, but do melee attacks care about cover? It's partial cover for adjacent figures. We're probably going to be told what cover is relatively soon.
I think we're walling again, maybe. Or and you can wall and shoot if we get ourselves in a close enough position for the bowyer.
Unfortunately,
Maybe
I have
kind
not
of up
checked
at
the
that-
bow range yet. But we can take Tyrietta's
switch.
turn first.
Yeah.
So your
Oh, wow, her
shoot
range is pretty far.
is only a single action, but it does end the turn. So we should move first.
Okay. Wow, it's 1 to 7. Yeah, we can shoot from way the heck back here.
It shows you in the location that you intend to go to, do you have line of sight?
That's nice. That's nice. Simple. Immaculate. Elegant. It's Rhaps Teak. Hey, that was a 87% hit chance or something.
These X
But you know
mods
what?
I see.
You know what? You miss that 13% of the time. It really is impossible, though, to grok, right? No matter how much you think you get math, probability still, we're just not very good at thinking about it.
You're still human, is the problem with it all.
Yeah.
You
You continue to
still
be a meat popsicle at the end, right? Yeah. I think we're about to 0. No, we're going to take some damage here. Darn.
Yeah.
But it's only 1. It's just a flesh wound. Weapon range is shown in red. Boom. Oh. Attempted to flee, and then turned into poofy clouds of smoke, it seems.
I believe that was a knockback.
Yorvir.
Your
Greenhorn
has
warrior.
grown stronger.
Okay, so
Warriors-
when it said future warrior, do you think it meant we'll be a warrior in the future, or we're going to be a warrior from the future? Like, where
As
are we
soon as
headed?
Yorvir mentions, like, 5G signals and mentions, like, laptops and all these kinds of things, I'll review my stance on this,
Yeah.
but at the moment I am treating it such as a squatty.
Yeah.
Warriors
Okay.
like Yorvir are built hardy, enduring, with a natural aptitude for battle. They develop powerful techniques for close combat. You have a zealous leap and active every other turn as a swift action. Yorvir makes a
Swift.
daring leap up to 3 spaces away.
That's nice. Yeah, that's basically free. No, swift. In other words, well, I don't know what swift action means in this game. Do you think it's a free action? Like it doesn't use one of your 2 moves?
That's
Or do you think
what
it
I
can
would
just be
tend to
put at any point?
assume.
Yeah.
Although, again, no certain knowledge about that just yet. Blood Rage,
We're gonna
passive,
learn.
infuriated by your wounds. Yorvir deals +1 damage for every 2 health that he is missing. Yorvir has a maximum of 8 health.
Okay.
Untouchable, passive, when Yorvir gets a kill, the next attack against him within 1 turn will miss.
Oh, that's cool.
That is really cool. I kind of want to play around that.
Frying pan man, just smashing and blocking. All
we
right.
gotta do what the frying man pan can.
That's right. And here's Tyrietta. Tyrietta has grown stronger. Now a greenhorn hunter. Hunters like Tyrietta thrive in the wild, surviving through stealth and peerless archery, a sneaky teak. They master their surroundings and bring down large quarry. With 3 options for new abilities: Through Shot, an active. Tyrietta fires a cleverly placed arrow that will pass through the first target and hit the next target in a line, dealing -1 damage to the second target. Still pretty swanky. Ambush, active. Tyrietta draws back, using a ranged attack on the first enemy who enters the threatened tiles in Overwatch, dealing an extra +2 damage. If the shot is not sprung, Tyrietta gets a free attack at the beginning of her next turn. That is pretty freaking sweet. And then Quelling Moss, passive / active. Tyrietta has coated her weapons in Quelling Moss. Her physical attacks apply Poison 1. As an action, she can toss a flask of Burning Moss that applies Poison 1 to all units in an area. Kind of different plays here. All very cool. So my thinking is that we should be thinking about our previous pick. And
Yes.
we just picked something for the warrior that asks us to get the kills with the warrior, which means that, not to say that we should avoid tools in the toolkit, but that's harder to play around with dots, right?
Yes.
Whereas, like, the ambush feels like it could make it easier to get a setup, and it lets us, if things don't quite turn out the way that we want them to, we still get the attack refunded. So, I don't know. I think Overwatch effects are just freaking cool, too. So, you don't have to really push me too hard here.
Totally agreed across the board. In fact, I would have made that argument had you not.
Perfect.
The Snakestone Talisman is an augment that gives us +5 dodge and ancient charm to hang around your wrist. We can throw this onto
Your waist, it says.
Oh,
You
just-
wear like a belt.
I saw the W and the IST, and I was like, wrist.
Yeah.
It's probably wrist.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
So your
Sa-
gear is going to be up close and personal a little more commonly, but Tyrietta has less health, being a backliner character.
Yep. And wants to not get hit.
We
and
could
there's
also
a third
salvage.
option, which is. But I think we should equip it.
We definitely should. I want to know what spell threat is at some point, though.
Right. Something useful, something usable. I
throw
feel
that on
like
your
we're
gear.
going to be able to bottleneck quite often, right? Or at least decently often. Yeah. Or use
Claiming gear
cover.
is permanent.
Interesting.
So it's
Okay,
not
buy
just rolling
non-equip.
need, it's rolling need forever.
Yeah. yeah. But maybe you can still break it down later. We just can't transfer it to another character. I just shot a monster. I hit it, didn't I? Did I hit it? Lie to me if you have to.
The
The creature's
creature's
death is quiet. It seems to slip from life in a few stunned, hazy blinks. I'm sorry. Also, this is the tower in the hills.
No, it's A-okay. I've just been manually trying to keep the amount of text
yeah,
reading.
that's. I
relative to
appreciate that. I appreciate that for the sake of our mutual throatage. They'll spend a piece of the day getting the flames under control. The damage isn't as bad as it could have been. Townsfolk emerge from hiding to fight fires and clear debris. Some full of curiosity, others visibly haunted by what they've seen.
We should go. Cody's alone, which isn't necessarily worrying, but just... Anyway, a promise is a promise. Cody.
Cody? Oh, I just now saw that text. I didn't see the text at all. Cody?
It's all good.
He's at that ruined tower by now. Anyway, what about my house?
No one's gonna steal your stuff. It's all burned. Cody would be waiting for us. What's happened today could be happening everywhere, couldn't it?
Yikes.
Something about that tower is just stuck in my mind. It's like when you get apple skin in your teeth.
Apple skin. Is it really?
Yeah. Anyways, I just think we said we'd meet him, so we should. The tower in the hills? You've been there, right?
Yeah, once. Actually, looking at the tracks, they come and they go that direction. These characters, part of it is the pacing of flipping through the sheets, but they are so beautifully awkward Like,
Uh-huh.
they did not roll 10s on charisma for sure. I mean, like, yeah, they're doing the best they can with their frying pans.
A good 10-word sentence ought to have 3 commas at all times.
Yeah, and some ellipsis in there. Yeah. Yorver and Tyrietta follow the pounded path of monstrous feet, ooh, hoping for the best and dreading every other possibility. I like that I get to tell these stories. It's fun. Storytelling's fun.
Mm-hmm. Could not agree
Oh
more.
boy. Choose 3 paths once again, and this time it's between Harrietta, Yenrietta, Irietta, what's her name? Tyrietta. I knew there was a Rietta. And Cody. Cody's the other character not yet revealed. Rivalry, friendship, and romance once again. Rivalry. Just be breathing, okay? So we can all yell and go home. Friendship says, let him be alive. Alive and unhurt. And then romance. Cody? You said you'd be fine. Don't make me call you a liar. She seemed like she wasn't concerned about going to get him, which makes it feel weird. Maybe this is the rivalry.
Yeah, let's do it. Both of these characters just have a rivalry with Cody. I'm into it.
Oh, does the other one already have a rivalry with Cody?
He doesn't, but they have a friendship, and the enemy of my friend is my enemy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... The tower in the hills. A wordless while passes between them, but the quiet only heightens their worry.
I know you don't exactly get along with Cody these days.
Maybe not. No. You know what it is? It's like today, while we clean up, but I'm gonna assume was his mess. I bet that sugar sweeper is up there now.
You know how in Star Wars in the original trilogy, the scruffy looking nerf herder, like the way that it's said makes it feel so pejorative.
You scruffy looking nerf herder.
You absolute sugar sweeper! I can't believe it. You
lint liquor.
You cake fondler! How dare you?
That was the commercial that was so popular here forever.
Which was?
You lint liquor. It's a oh God, I don't remember. Who cares? I don't need to do the advertising for them, but it's exactly that. It's a bunch of made up insults just hurled back and forth for a whole, 30-second commercial. It's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Without a care in the world.
Oh, I like that. That other beast, was that another? And it's big map time.
In order to find sites in the wilderness, heroes must scout the land, which takes time. Click on an unscouted tile to show the scout action.
Is there an option for us to just go the other way and say, screw it, we don't need Cody?
I don't believe
water,
so, just because...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, tile's not
this
possible.
Tile is not possible. Oh, passable. I thought it said possible. This tile is not possible.
This tile's impossible.
Not possible. No.
Send a party
All
scout.
right, well, there's only one thing to do, and that's to scout. 11 days travel. Okay. Info. What do you see?
I can see that different characters are contributing to this in different fashions, such as a hunter is 3 times as effective in their labor in a scouting task as a warrior otherwise might be. 0.4, because you have relatively low speed, it appears. I can also see that we are maintaining our health from the previous battle, so we are not having instanced battles that we are exiting and entering.
We didn't have a long rest.
Exactly. Like, it is very much sticking to more, like, harder RPG mechanics than some games that will wear RPG on their sleeves, but, come back to town and everyone's healthy.
Right.
No reason not to send both of them.
Let's send them. Choose a hero from the list. Oh, they're already selected. I see.
40 days to complete if no one does it. It'll scout itself.
It can be done. We don't understand it necessarily.
So we can also
gets
see
slower when we send them both, interestingly.
So it gets slightly faster to complete, but our travel time is slower because it's the average, I appear, of the 2 travel times between the characters, 10 and 12.
So presumably half of the time Tyrietta has to carry... How do you average travel times? What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. Maybe it's like these are their travel times, assuming that they have to take equal loads, and so give Tirietta a larger load because she's so good at going fast.
May well do.
That's my justification here. Wildermyth. Do you want this one?
Sure.
It's the namesake. Okay.
The previous night, the tower where Cody had arranged to meet Yorvir and Tirietta is a place he'd often used to escape as a boy. He knows its rooms and floors so well. He could survive being chased through them.
And now I wait, I suppose.
Dust gets deep as rain puddles in here.
Alive is alive, though better not to be, maybe. If that beast breaks through. Like Zoink Scoob. The beast is breaking through, man.
I'm sorry, I was doing Scooby as the beast.
Wait, Scooby. I told you, dude. We're all out of snacks. Raggy. Ooh.
We always have ruby snacks. What about a raggy snack?
Raggy snack. Oh no, you just ruined my whole childhood so flawlessly. Prey slaughtered. I mean, like, brutal. Like, don't you know, Beast? Snurflurk, dude. That's my next RPG character is gonna be a Murloc named Snuflurk. I'm not good eating anyway.
The tower is an heirloom of an earlier people. The locals have lost the legend of it. There's an Elden dignity in the stones.
Wow.
They stand for standing.
Never seen Elden in dignity. Oh, Elden like, okay. I thought Elden like Cthulhu.
Mm-hmm. Though it seems they guard nothing.
Oh.
But as the old will tell you, precious things go overlooked in a ruin. What lodges amid the bones of failure is often the dream that drove it.
Wow. That was big money phrasing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that book. Why have I never?
Quack.
Batman sounds.
Easy there. I guess you're wondering why I'm talking to myself, huh, Beast? I'm also wondering.
Cody bends to pull it loose.
Surprise
the book
Pikachu
contains
face.
what is in the briefcase in Pulp Fiction. We're
That's
never going
right,
to see
it's the
it.
gold- Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
The book's
It's-
heavier than its slender spine suggests.
It's the weight of $35 Australian.
Look at all these dollars. I gotta.
They're just everywhere. 35 of them. Wow. Okay.
It's full of strange stories, the folklore of folk long forgotten.
The chained boy.
Gives no great insight. It's the uncomfortable story of a boy shackled to a rock by his parents, who sends his spirit free, moving through the links of the chain that bind him.
That's not how I remember Sisyphus. The Coinclaw Bear and the Benstrom Fox.
Is mostly a conversation between a miserly bear and a traveling fox. In the final sentence, the fox stamps the bear's soul into a coin and sends him around the world on the current of exchange.
Mama Clam furrows horn. Oh no, I'm about to become the Bloodhound. Shaggy, hold on tight.
Spins the yarn of a mother who drank so much and laughed so freely that she grew a beautiful spinal horn. Her children were very proud. Cody reaches the last word of the final tall tale. A few blank pages are left.
Like this book, man.
Something in him feels like it's coming loose, but he can't tell exactly what.
There's room in it for another story.
It's cold. I'm stuck here.
Light the fire. Right. then this is the beginning. Here, like in our yondering country.
Cody writes, words are ready. Omens have formed in the fabric of everything, and he's beginning to recognize them now. Some are just misgivings. They've crept through his body like the Whoa. Like, I saw sour and then sour solace.
Sour.
Like the sorceress aches one wakes with. Others are more substantial. Now they seem lightning plain, a promise of thunder. For in the wild black woods where birds once belled, a hateful silence churns. Pain lights Cody's head. Subsides.
Like I made it to morning?
He lowers his bleary eyes. His story lies before him in luminous script, empty pages have shrouded behind it.
Why do I feel powerful? Choose.
He pulls the spoon from his
options.
pocket, or he slides a branch from the rubble. It's sturdy. It has a palm-loving twist.
Do you suspect that this branch has died?
I think this branch could be deceased. I think it may have passed on. I think it's possibly pining through the fields. I haven't ruled that out as a possibility. I think it's a late branch, certainly.
Yeah, certainly late.
Another way to say that.
This branch was probably taken behind the barn. We should take this branch. Well, Beast, it's time. I'm getting out of here. Just a moment.
Rager. It charges without seeing misshapen tusks swinging wildly.
They really, like, I don't know who their descriptionologist is, but they hired a good one.
Yep.
The one-line descriptions, they're stonks.
They need a raise. I think everyone on this needs a raise. And that is why the 35 AUD was not hard to spend. So we're seeing the mission in the top left. Krail boast, use interfusion to kill from a distance. Interfuse, mingle the mystic's life energy with a blaze or a piece of scenery. Interfuse targets grant vision and can be used for further purposes.
Oh, cool. So, okay, so we want some vision.
There seem to be no objects out here save that torch at the very end that might be able to be interfused.
That's probably going to be it. Maybe we move towards the edge of the room. Maybe not even all the way, just to the doorway. Revelio.
Interfuse with an object, then use the object to attack. Use the interfuse ability to connect with fire or scenery, and then different levels of scenery give different abilities and effects. Many of these let you use the scenery to damage enemies.
And it looks like Cody is kind of meant to be our mystic. Are we going to interfuse with the freaking bookshelf? Baby? There's some barrels. There's some barrels, too, if we want to go for... We want to barrel in.
There's a chest over here as well.
Is there text that suggests what the interfusion will do?
Yes.
Oh yeah, look, it's got. Okay.
It's on the hover over. Splinter Blast is a wood basic infusion. 2 damage, 1 shred, 1 pierce. The explodes a wooden object into a shredding blast of splinters that damages an area. The bookshelf has Bone Lance.
Whoa.
3 to 4 damage, 4 range, 1 pierce. Propel a long, cruel lance of bone to impale enemies.
That looks pretty good.
Donut jumps.
Bone lancing. And now, oh look, it shows up as an action. Interfuse abilities. The object you're interfused with has an ability that you can use. Different kinds of objects do different things. Well, we know that.
Let's get to Bone Lance our enemy for us.
I'm gonna go ahead and get down to Bone Lance in here. It looks like we Bone Lanced the back shelf as well because it's a long piercing attack.
Oh?
We can just Bone Lance again.
It's comfy to do it again, yeah. Interview scenery.
We're not running out of chances.
Vision, be the focus. So, I wonder if the bookshelf damaged itself by doing that. Also, it looks like I will damage myself by getting the bookshelf to attack back.
Or we have to change our angle or something. Yeah.
You're right, you're right.
It shouldn't break the interfusion because it grants vision, right? Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Bingo. We're still interfused and everything. We just get to... But you're right. That was a good catch. We were totally going to stab ourselves, which is not desirable.
The bookshelf seems like it took a damage when it did the attack there as well.
Probably because it's breaking itself apart, right? You're animating a bookshelf. Bookshelves aren't really meant to become a bone lance. Also, why are they full of
Very
bones?
few of them, at
Bone
least.
spines on the books? Cody has grown stronger. Cody is now a greenhorn mystic. As a mystic, Cody has acquired the knack for interfusing his spirit with earthly things, drawing on these bonds to enact formidable magics. Would you like to read these abilities?
Sure. We have Soul Splitting. It is a passive. When Cody takes damage for each interfused object, 1 point will be prevented, and the object takes 2 damage instead. There's also an active in Compulsion. Cody briefly interfuses with an enemy and forces it to move where he pleases.
We do have an Overwatch.
We do have an Overwatch, don't we? An Open Mind passive. Cody can interfuse with 1 additional target.
You're tempted to compulsion and just be total freaking
Control
strategist.
Lords? Hell yeah.
Control Lords? yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I'm down. I think that's fun. Tactician is the word I was looking for. Hey, we got a Fern Shadow strap. A strap of golden links. Everyone knows who's winning when you show up wearing this, and there's no one else here. We could get a Heartwood out of it, but we haven't yet seen if we can salvage something later on, and I don't see a reason not to take stats. I think we should
Let's
take
do it.
stats. Yeah.
Claimed, and that is permanent. More monsters roam the ruined halls and rattle the rotting furniture. But Cody moves silently, sensing his way in the dark.
How do you snert?
Snort! We dash away. Donna and Dixon. Daylight lands on his wrist. Sorry, his waist, I mean. Cool wind soothes his tired eyes.
It's still in the same world.
He closes the tower door, gentle, to make no noise.
That was the Mystic's art that I did. Like, right, Tower? Where'd I get it from? Could it have just happened? Is it just one of those things?
You know, sometimes you wake up and you take over with your soul imparted into another object and
bookshelf.
use it to kill some sort of a beastie. We've all been there. That's Sunday, baby.
Everybody's had a Sunday. Yeah. Oh, I see. It changed the background color. Things a man's born with that might blossom in his life when he needs them. And I suppose, like wherever it's from, all I can do is have gratitude and use it wisely. Cody?
We don't know who's doing it, so yeah, it could be anyone.
Although, does this power mean, or do I have to do anything with it? Is it better if I don't? Cody! You bunkhead!
Hey, Cody, something happened?
Like your veer, yes! Sorry, Tyrietta's voice just bounces off my ears sometimes. Your veer and I only barely made it.
She's so bemused. Look at that look.
Yeah, not having it.
Yeah, see that smoke on the horizon? That's from the town.
Yeah, that's Glamfurrow. It burned? Things are different than they were here. Me, Yorvir. Me smash with pot.
I think Yorvir needs
Yeah.
a different voice. It's not appropriate for him, so I'm just gonna like swap it next line.
Just re-roll him. You know, you have that capacity in this game, yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you've ever seen something quite like this. A monster? Sure, we have.
We slay monsters.
Okay. Well, I do magic.
I love that that's the end. I do magic, and then the next scene.
Cut.
We
Roll
have
it.
discovered a new
Print
site.
tape.
It is currently under enemy control, though. We will click on the banner to fight it. It has strength 2 on the assault of Krail Boast.
Fight it.
It's 0
Let's
days
go.
away. All of us just goes in.
Battle. We simply go in. We attack. We have 3 people now.
I'm
Not-
sick of
oh.
talking. I'm going in. Don't follow me if you're scared. A perfect understanding isn't likely to emerge. What these beasts are, where they came from, what drove them to attack the town of Glamfurrow. But letting them nest here feels like the wrong idea.
They attacked Glamfurrow to stop the writing of the book, which was written because they attacked Glamfurrow to stop the writing of the book.
I always do love, and it's a trope that exists in a lot of fantasies, the self-fulfilling prophecy. And specifically the self-fulfilling prophecy that you fulfill by trying to avoid fulfilling the prophecy.
Yep. It's going to happen. You stopping it makes it happen.
Unless you really are scared. Let's just pick a plan and go with it.
Sure, well,
Back at my house.
back in my day.
Oh wait,
I think
these are both
this
you.
This is what's her name? Yeah. So there's the courage option from Tirietta. Back at my house, it was pretty simple. Kill the beast before it kills you. Or, I just came out of there. If we're methodical and patient, like we can fend them off at least. Okay. Stoicism or courage?
I think the
Whose
second
plan?
one it makes a lot of
Makes
sense
sense.
with our kind of like Overwatch control-y kind of thing. Like we're
Yep.
tacticians.
Yep. And we should trust the guy who is just and there and who knows it by heart.
Also very true. With the combat modifier of Stoicism here, all heroes get +1 armor/warding. Also
Okay,
two
so
foes.
it's a bonus based on our choice. That is not a raccoon.
It's not a raccoon. It's Raccoon the First.
I see.
Scrambling through shadows, its barbed appendages eagerly twitch.
Yep,
That's also not
no,
a
I
fish
live-
egg, on the other side, to be clear.
Yeah, you're right. That's not a fish egg at all, and we've seen this description. I live in Texas, and there's a lot of creatures, and that is how raccoons are. They
Yeah.
do have barbed appendages. That's correct. I take back what I said. So we have action points described here again, but we've kind of seen this. Every hero starts out with 2 action points every turn. Different abilities have different costs. Single action ends turn requires 1 action point, ends the hero's turn. A la shoot the bow. Single action costs 1 action point, and it's showing us that the diamond is the differentiator. Red-filled diamond is the red fill is terminating. The white diamond is just a single action, and the tannish, brownish, whatever color I have flux on, is a swift action, free once per turn. After a swift action is used, all that hero's swift actions become single actions. So, it's not a free action, it's swift action, which is 1 time free. That makes
Yes.
sense. There are also free actions, which we could find, but we do not have.
Not necessarily just as of yet. Okay.
Where are the baddies?
I imagine
In the
they
tower?
may well be inside. Partial cover for adjacent figures. It's warding. It's a metal object. Just having a look at the kind of things we may want to interfuse here, just in case any of them seem to have any uniqueness to them. Not particular.
Get it ready. Do we have to open the door? In which case it's probably your veer, or do we shoot the door open? Silk step. Cool.
With an elusive step, Tirietta slips into the Grey Plane. While in Grey Plane, she's hidden to enemies, and her attacks ignore armor.
Yeah, a rogue.
Through and through.
I mean,
I think you're right that we'll get Yorvir up near the door.
door veer.
Guardian. Wait, for an enemy to come within range, hit up to 1 enemy with a melee attack. So these are actions that we've gotten outside of the level ups, right? We actually just have a Guardian ability with Yorvir as well.
Being a warrior, probably. Yeah.
Seems
Open door here is available if we wanted to go ahead and do it. And we can silk step.
I mean, I think the game is not really going to punish us for doing much slightly suboptimal, so I'm going to open the door, despite the fact we're 1 action down in the economy now.
Yeah. Just role play it.
Let's guard there.
And
I'm also
try
just
to-
going to auto do some of these turns just to make sure that we
Yeah, for sure.
get
We don't need to plan every single play. I mean, what I really like doing anyway is offering kind of big picture stuff. Like, we should definitely be trying to infuse a bookshelf or something.
Mm-hmm.
If we can line that up, and it looks like we might be able to get just close enough. Revelio. Yeah, let's go. Bookshelves are pretty swag. Can the Splinter Blast reach them? Not quite, but we'll wait.
Oh, it's only 1 tile away, though.
It's close. How many infusions do we have right now? Are we at 1 infusion right now? Or are we able to do more?
So the other one said that we have the ability to interfuse a second object, so I imagine we can only interfuse 1 at the moment.
Okay.
Is there anything I can interfuse? Mingles it with a blaze or a piece of doesn't necessarily seem to directly tell us, but I do believe it's just going to be the one at the moment.
I would totally believe that.
Nice try.
Oh, here he comes again. He's a bad doggy. All right.
Whoa, there she blows. Watch out, boy. I mean, look, we can just kill the row instantaneously with the Splinter Blast.
Can we kill it with the frying pan?
We can as well, and Splinter Blast has the ability to target the enemy on the back line, so it seems like...
Ooh! Dodged! Raccoons out here getting dodgy. Flanking enemy with an attack 90 degrees or more from a previous that turn. We know this one. We get a 100% hit chance when we do it. And if the enemies are dodgy, well, you know what to do. So the question is, could we go to the side here and flank with Tirietta? That's the part that made me curious. It doesn't matter because we just get the kill, but, you know, it says an attack that came from 90 degrees or more, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we should be able to flank with a bow.
1 sec. Because I thought it was you have to be placed, flank an enemy with an attack 90 degrees or more from a previous attack that turn. So it's not even the positioning, it's there has to be an attack already. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, you're right. So it's
so not everybody
it represents
gets the
them
flanking
turning
bonus.
to face one, I guess.
Right. Which kind of makes sense. They turn to face that first attack, and then everybody else is flanking as long as you're not in that vision cone. Lump. Oh. To excruciating levels. If we blind the raccoon, maybe, well, they have cover from the archway, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So stinky.
My flare on it apparently will not work at the moment.
Because we're out of action.
Is Cody out of actions? Oh, yeah, he must have.
No,
He
because
shouldn't
we
have,
can
though.
still move. Something wicked. Here Cody goes again.
The flare...
I can do magic.
It's blinding. No, not see anything to do with that, so...
Maybe
So
it doesn't have a valid target. Maybe it's protecting us.
Also true. That
know,
enemy is behind some direct cover, so it would make sense.
Yeah, and it wasn't super clear, but it does appear to be behind cover. Oh yeah, nice. Double Guardian. Shot prepared. Oh, what? Raccoons? Since when can raccoons use ranged attacks with their
You
barbed
told
appendages?
me that you're a Texan and you've run into a bunch of these. You never
I've
told
never
me that
gotten
they
in a
had range
fight.
attacks, Teak.
Look, you just they're friendly, they're pretty docile, they mostly want your trash. I didn't know that they could. I have never seen them attack from range.
And
Now,
you
if
never
you'd
will
ask
again.
Junior, perhaps Junior may have known. The dog is wise in all things enemy attack patterns, like the electric mind chicken. Igneous Scarf, bonus damage, 0.7. We're working with decimals now. It's a warm from Scarf. It's so warm that it heats up your hot attacks. So will that apply to interfused objects? Because if not, we should put it on like Tirietta or Cody for more.
So the interfused objects appear to have their own statistics.
Yeah.
So I would assume that it would be based around theirs.
Yeah.
Tirietta does have the ability to shoot 2 times per turn if she doesn't move.
Yeah, and that's pretty sweet. From 0.4 to 1.1 bonus.
Mm-hmm.
What is the other bonus damage coming for? Class, maybe?
Yeah, it seems to be some class-related feature. 0.8 on the warrior, 0.4 on the other 2 characters. We could also just stack it on the warrior.
I like that for multi-target fights where we're taking advantage of. Because remember, ambush is 2 attacks ish. It's effectively 2 attacks if you get the jump on the fight, but beyond that, it's just 1 attack a turn like normal, right? Because you're getting the free attack if you didn't get the ambush on the previous turn. So I like your veer, so we can get those bonks to turn into he becomes Stronks when you get the bonks, right? He takes less damage, or he doesn't get hit.
He doesn't get hit by the next attack in that round.
Right.
The last mishappened creature folds its bones and dies. Blue fluids darken the dust.
Calmly into death. There's dignity in that.
You make it sadder when you see that.
Hey, look at us! Look what we did!
Yeah? Day drops, day rises. Dusk is sweet, the sunrise sweeter. It's not long before they've cleaned up the old tower a bit.
That was like a pop song or something, you know? Would have thought there'd be more shiny things around. A tower? Guess it's old. Are you thinking about what comes next, man? Like I am. And I don't just mean drinks either. I mean... crack. Nope. Let's not wait to be overrun. I don't know what they do in the tower. Listen.
I like that just being someone's next cab off the rank. Alcohol? No? Crack cocaine?
Straight to the rock. Oh no, dude. Shaggy, your breath smells a little funny, buddy. What? I do magic. We're like a company of heroes now. We'll walk the land. We'll fight. People will need us. We'll give ourselves a name and make sure it's one they'll sing.
Sounds like you thought about this.
Name that
the
company. We'll be called the Guild of the Hare. Well, how about the Kinship of Vensa?
Maybe the Bards of Law?
Bards of Law. Do you want to do your own, or do you want to
Into your own name.
take one of these? Kinship of Vensa. That's just fun to say.
I don't dislike
Vinship.
it. Vensa sits well with me here. After
A
that,
name and song.
the 3 of them are inseparable. Rumors are
Even though they're
rampant.
rivals.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, 2 of them are friends. 2 of them are rivals. And I kind of want to make the other 2 rivals
is not
as well.
nemesis. You know, rival is not nemesis. Rival says, we got some bickering. We'll go head to head sometimes. You know, it's you versus me in a competition for a mutual betterment.
And I will ultimately be the Pokemon champion standing atop the end of the Elite Four. How dare you think you'll step to me? Step to me, you get stepped on, Gary. After
Gary,
that-
I'm going to stand on a pile of your Pokemon skulls. That's how Pokemon win. You don't
There's
remember?
no rules in the Elite Four about not being able to pull a Tonya Harding, right? Am I able to...
I'm
After
gonna
that-
win, Gary.
The 3 of them are inseparable. Rumors are rampant. Heroes are needed. This world will be flooded in sorrows, but its defenders are joined by a fire that night.
Here follow the tales of the Kinship of Vensa. Be remembered. That's a hell of a motto, actually. I feel like that should be that's like a company motto, you know? Be remembered.
I feel like it could be in Latin as well. Like would it be momentous? Be remembered? Because it'd be
Rememberatum.
what? Because memento is remember.
Like
Because memento mori is remember the dead, yeah, or remember that you will die. Remember death.
I don't
It's got to be a
I don't know.
conjugate. If Peak was not currently engaged in something, he knows the Latin prefixes and suffixes for all of these kinds of different things.
Okay.
And as much as he'll complain about it, he'll just immediately go, "Oh yeah, it would be mementorari."
Mementorari.
Of course.
No, I don't have any actual Latin knowledge. I'm kind of going the other way. Things like medical terms are derived from Latin, and then I reverse engineer back. So any Latin knowledge that I have is reverse engineered from modern Latinisms, right? Which is just like, you take it from 1080p to 1440p, and then you put it back. Or something.
or some such similar. I don't know. I wouldn't be familiar. Calamities. Your enemies improve their strategies after every fight. It's worth noting the calamities is the system that was mentioned prior, before we even came in, that we had the ability to turn up to have calamities occur before the beginning of the campaign.
Is this kind of like the Nemesis system from that one Lord of the Rings game, Shadow of War or whatever? So like you fight them and then they learn more tricks?
It may
be. Did you play those games?
I did play Shadow of War, and the Nemesis system is definitely the most interesting thing about the Shadow of War game. Like I thought, it was fine otherwise, but it's definitely the thing
that system is the cool part, right? Yeah,
yes,
I agree.
Deeply. I'm loving seeing other games kind of adapt it. I don't know if it's necessarily similar to that, or if it's just with more calamities, there are more enemies that are available. Yeah, that's a sommelier right there.
I don't want to fight a Somm. They know so much. They've seen so much. That's the scariest enemy in the game. We shan't go there.
I think we may have to. Although in the interim, there is a Gorgon Rager. A new card is added to the Gorgon deck. The deck is more dangerous now. Yeah, so it's improving them over time. But we haven't... Well, we fought one Rager at the very start, I think it was.
Yes. Or at least we've seen Rager before. I think we fought a Rager. That was the first battle, right? Like the tutorial battle.
Yep, it's added a new enemy that we have the ability to fight. So it's less about building up a relationship with a certain specific enemy, and more specific enemies getting dangerous.
Okay. So if you specialize in fighting beasts, the beasts are going to keep getting better. I see.
Legacy points. You get legacy points by taking new sites. You can spend legacy points to do the following. You can recruit heroes, build new stations, or cancel out calamities. We can also actually see this calamity here is Rose have extra health. This monster is just now stronger, has plus 40% health. So it's just modifiers to them, broadly. It seems. Securing sites. Once the site is free of enemy control, you can spend some time to secure it. Secured sites provide resources now and at the end of each chapter, which you can use to craft gear at a town or between chapters. That is not an element that I suspected would exist here.
So it really is actually a little Catan. It's like map control results in resources, which then question mark, rule the world. Is this game 4X-y at all? If you can get more heroes, I mean, I was kind of assuming at first that 3 was the party limit, but if you can recruit new heroes, is that just a replacement mechanic, or are you... Well, we shan't know until we try.
So when we were attempting to scout, as well as when we were attempting to go into the mission Krail Boast, they showed us a screen of putting a party in, and I think the screen had 6 different slots, but it also had a roster next to it. So it had the ability to take people out of the party and only put the certain 6 in that you want. So it feels more like you are a company rather than a party.
I see.
And the party is constructed from the company.
Right. And we start with a small party, but we will grow larger.
Remember corpses? We should probably bury and burn them too, right? Meanwhile, our enemy moves. Secure Krail Boast. Sorry, I'll leave that to you.
It's okay. I was like, I will save Rhapsody, who has told the story of the tower. I like that too. Alternating missions. Secure Krail Boast. This site can provide resources now and at the end of each chapter. Spend resources to upgrade your weapons and armor, Snake. Choose between finding an item or working faster.
Investigate thoroughly, catalog everything, or burn what's not useful, get in ship shape. We could find an item. Let's get some items. I think this is probably going to be more intriguing. This is probably a resource management kind of thing that we don't need to worry about now.
Game. Show more game. Game good. So probably we could send them back. Oh, why are... Cody has got the double labor here because of Mystic. Oh, because specifically combing through details or something they're good at?
So the hover over back when we were doing traveling on labor showed their speed as the thing that was modifying it. So I'm assuming here that on the hover over, it's also showing he's just good at this because he's a Mystic.
I'm curious if you reduce the number of heroes who are involved, like what it'll do to change the costs. For this too.
Just way more days. So
it's purely getting faster. Yeah. And we should send them all. I wonder if this will be interactive. Oh, time is passing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're losing something. Oh,
Calamity cards are starting to be drawn in another 133.
we're in a race against the difficulty rising. It's kind of Risk of Rain. It's like time. The enemies are always getting stronger. Okay.
Kind of reminds me a little of For the King as well, with the corruption
Which I've not played.
system. It's good.
But it went on sale recently, so maybe I should. Research site. A thorough delving through the mysteries of Krail Boast has proven rewarding. Please, let's not fight over who gets the item, man. Krail Boast will return to the hands of the common folk. While they tend it, the site will provide resources at the end of each chapter. Hides 1, ingots 1, or spell threads 1. Is that a now or a forever choice?
That is a not choice. It is just what we got.
Oh, wow. Okay, nice. Why choose when can have it all? And we also found a Tiger Shard bracelet. Melee accuracy 5, ranged accuracy 5, pair of bracers, studded with colored stones. And it's cool that it just shows empty slot, but it's also kind of making it hard for me. We should look at a character because I don't have a sense of what slots they have, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because it only shows, is this slot open?
So we pulled up the gear slots. Actually, I don't think this is showing all of it. I don't think this is showing their slots.
Yeah. It's just showing kind of the main things. Weapon, primary armor.
Yeah, they may just have like a huge amount of slots, because this is showing the primary, secondary, and then the armor and armor, but we know... Wait, let's try and look at a different character who actually has something, because I don't know if she necessarily does. Attire... Yeah, so it's just invisible slot until it's got something in.
Strap, armor, yeah, cool.
Something I'll also take a second to pull our attention to is that each of these is now represented, the salvage options is now represented by some simple resource. So it seems to me that what is happening here is the salvage is the ability to get less value than the item itself, but the ability to craft it with other resources into a different item later.
Right, right. I'm liking Tyrietta here. Get a little more accuracy on the bow. We seem to be fine with the Mystic. Mystic is kind of getting their own set of bonuses, right? So.
Yep. And she's not often flanking, so her accuracy in long range really matters.
Good point. Good point.
Okay.
Okay.
So clear all hostile sites is the next thing that it wants us to do, as well as scout Einfastel.
Do you want to take a
up in that direction.
Quick pause right here?
And it's time for us to explore the Grain Wilds, the Braum Wild, or the Arm Wild. I don't think we can... Wait, we can scout. We cannot scout something that's not currently reachable. Okay. So if that's our goal, to scout Einar Stel, seems like the Braum Wild's our point.
Go through the Pine Forest. Aye. Do we have any cause to stop by Glenfurrow, or is that not? It looks like we finally healed.
We could. We have 5 legacy points. And also, yeah, you're right. Nice. It does look like we healed on Yorvir. 8 out of 8 health.
Let's get that other person. Let's get this other person.
Let's do it. 11 days travel time. We gotta go through this
anyway.
I mean, we need everyone to be over in that area anyway, coming. So...
Yeah. I feel like that'll become more of a thing when you've got a more full, like you say, a more full troop. What is the word you used? It's not a party, it's a
party or a company.
Company, yeah. A larger company, yeah. New recruit. Decisive Snark. Okay.
I love it, because, like, you know, the other ones were, like, you know, Future Hunter and things like that. Oh, no, wait, this is New Recruit. So,
this is,
new recruit.
Yeah, that's their career, right? No, but one of them was something Greedwagon. Ario Greedwagon. I already made that joke. Character sheets.
I will take Val to give us each 2 characters here. You're back. I saw you leave, like, a whole while ago.
Like I did, but it occurs to me that we'll need more help if we're going to have any kind of impact on the Gorkons. And Glenfurrow is right here, so... Well, are you interested? You could be the next member of the Kinship of Vensa.
Wait, you have a company name?
Yes.
And it's the Kinship of Vesna?
I like it. Vensa, though.
Am I going to join the Venser Society for high adventuring individuals? Are there company badges too?
No, that would be weird.
Of course.
So you're in?
I guess I am. What sort of skills do you even need the most?
Bow staff skills. Train Val is a warrior, hunter, or mystic. Oh, so we have redundancy.
Hmm.
You want to go double backline, double frontline, or double scout?
There seems to be some innate value in the idea of having a double front line, courtesy of the fact that they wall, they stand next to one another, you get some extra value out of it in that way. However, I think having more people that could easily access from very far the enemies is going to put us in a better position, especially at the moment. So Hunter or Mystic is my lean.
And
I
my
lean
lean
most to Hunter.
is Hunter.
Personally.
Yeah, okay, why? Because I had a reason immediately.
It's resources not as restrictive.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is the Mystic's always going to be limited by terrain. If you don't, I mean, which is true for everyone, right? It's a tactics game.
Mhm.
But if you don't have multiple bookcases, what are you doing? I guess I smack them with the staff, right? So double Hunter too, you can set one of them up, like they're pretty fast, right? So you can try to create flanks with them, which is quite nice.
Yeah, the Hunter also has a skinning knife as another weapon, and I wonder if it's possible that we actually get offered something that wants us to use the skinning knife more.
Melee Hunter be like a rogue. Because we've only seen 3 classes so far, right? So
It seems
there must
like
be more differentiation.
there must be, as it's like sometimes
Future
it comes
warrior.
through like, you know, splitting mystics out into different classes and splitting warriors out into different classes and rangers, etc. as well. But it might just come with, you know, the non-tutorial pickup of recruits.
Yeah.
Val needs help getting her
Prepare.
gear ready.
Interesting.
Oh, we can prepare her here.
Yeah. Well, we'll prepare you.
Takes 32 days to do.
32 days. Well, we've got some. Sure. Okay. Yeah. Those days will happen instantly.
Oh, we didn't done it.
We could have like sent someone to scout at the same time, I guess.
We could well have. However, I will also mention that in the bottom right corner, Tyrietta and Cody now consider each other irritants.
Oh, wow. Interesting. That's different than Rebel. Or what would rival? Rebel.
Yep.
I wonder if that's worse.
It may well be. However, I want to have a look at their relationship because it might give them like, you know, I get 1 more damage when I'm in range of you because I'm so mad at you. And you know, anytime I want to do a big hit against an enemy, I quickly knock an arrow in your direction and then just swing it at the enemy before I fire it because I find that gives me the real pull behind that bow, you know?
Yeah. You really knock the hell out of that arrow when you're thinking about Cody.
Infested tiles are now unsafe. Infestations increase the strength of the source threat, can ambush groups of 2 or 1 heroes, and over time will spread and turn into an incursion. You can clear infestations by taking out the source or by sending a group of heroes to patrol on the tile.
You see. Yeah, and that indicates that uninfested tiles, you can send 1 or 2 heroes. There's no risk of ambush. Okay. I'm starting to get how you like, but splitting the party is like a cardinal sin in an RPG. Oh, Thornfang. Yo.
Thornfang indeed. We've seen through shot
a rogue.
before. However, we have not seen Thornfang. Passive, once per turn, Val is refunded an action point after a melee kill. We also know, courtesy of our previous in Tyrietta, that hunters also get the ability to just stealth themselves as an action.
Yep.
And
Sounds like a
piercing
rogue
shots.
to me.
Val's ranged attacks have +1 pierce. Can we?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's fun. It's differentiation. She's a decisive snark, right? So I decisively stab you in the back with my verbiage. You're a skinning knife. Oh, cool. Oh, you can just swap it up front. That's nice.
And it's also got a passive of damage 2 times after the armor if you are flanking. Dagger attacks do 2 times damage if you're flanking.
Okay.
Let's actually take a very, very quick look at some of the other characters' main weapon and see if they have any of those that is showing some effect. Slam has the ability to knock the foe to another tile and deals additional damage. So it has knockback is the effect of the pan and pierce.
Which is fine.
It
And
is indeed.
actually, I wonder how that interacts with flanking, right? Because it's like 90 degrees or more from the previous attack, but now the enemy has moved.
It might, so it may just save the directionality of the first attack that came against the enemy.
Uh-huh.
Like when it's got the where are you? Flanking. It's the third one. It may just save like, oh, this was attacked from this side, even if it's got pushed away. And then as long as you attack it from 90 degrees or
But
more
as an example,
from that side.
Imagine the frying pan is where this person is with the frying pan right now.
Yep.
But the person with the axe is on the next tile to the right. You're currently at 90 degrees, but then the frying pan pushes the row back by one tile, and suddenly you're attacking it from the diagonal. Is that diagonal 90 degree or not, right?
I don't think
Maybe
it would
no.
be.
Maybe no, because you're hitting the side. I see what you're saying. It's literally just 8 cardinals. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got to be able to respect
smart.
it's got to be able to respect the new targets. Otherwise, using it to push someone and then hitting them by a pickaxe that was one space further to the left off screen would not be able to be a flanking kind of thing.
That means that flanking is
Less
harder
consistent.
to do with the frying pan.
Yes.
But that's just cool. It's just fun. It's just new. Let's go scout. Let's be about it. Let's
I
get
like
in.
being about it. 11 days and 11 days to complete. Get them.
Go get them. Oh, look at the little coin stacks. Yeah, that's cute. I like the material.
Feeling kind of board
Braunwild
gamey.
has been revealed. Tama breath. Tama? Shall we assault it?
Let's
Claim
assault
low
Tama
caution.
breath. It's got 3 strength there. We'll throw all of our characters in here. I said 6 prior. It's 5. Let's go.
Boom.
All the sweltering stars.
When the moon's gone, all the stars seem happier.
It reminds me of a tavern hall before your face darkens the window. You're there. She doesn't know.
Anyway, it's a good omen. The brightening stars.
Yeah? What's it normal of?
I can't really tell you what they mean specifically. I also think maybe listening is the point. Quieting yourself enough to hear the voice of existence.
I mean, that's good if it gives you confidence. I just say, don't trust omens over much. I don't know that shooting star.
Which you can hear in this universe that I've just described, which is horrifying if you were able to hear it.
Reminds me of.
Good.
Can I still remember the story? 20% chance on that one.
Is this your sign? My guardians. My guides.
Maybe I do wonder, does she see something I don't? We gotta go for the highest chance.
Yeah. Maximize chance at something.
There's a
There's a
thing
thing-
Tyrietta sometimes believes, that the dead turn to stars, and that their wishes become light. In this moment, she feels a well-meaning eye turned on her.
Not that I'm eager to join you, stars. Hope they'll save me a place in the north.
Whatever else the night may say, a new ward is wound round the life of Tyrietta Green.
Whoa.
Plus 0.6
Nice.
armor. Hell yeah, baby.
We listened to the stars and they responded.
They responded by toughening our skin. All heroes get plus
Yeah,
1 armor
thanks,
on
stars. It's pretty cool.
We've got
Ooh, new foes.
2 Thrixel
Thrixels.
Dweavers. This is interesting. These are both the same minion, but their coloration scheme is different.
Just for the sake of variety. Are they slightly different sizes as well?
Yes. Yes, they are.
Nice.
And the Thrixel Thrusk. The Thrixel Dweaver. Its head weaves in odd patterns. Eyes shine like moons. Hissing suddenly, it looms to strike. And the Thrusk is clambering and clattering. It cries out in a doubled voice.
I'm not going to try that. I can't produce 2 separate voices necessarily. That seems pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a
They're
bit
all
different.
facing what? The edge of a cliff?
I think that's just their default orientation, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
So
We got to go in there.
carapace lamp out in this direction, as well as an egg. Definitely feeling like that's where I'm going to find the wee beasties. This tree, though, good cover for adjacent figures. I wonder if I have the ability to just lay that flat with a transfusion.
Get up, all up in that interfusion. Is that what it's called? Interfuse? Infuse?
It was
Which
interfusion,
one?
right?
Interfuse, yeah.
Yeah, interfuse. I'm thinking we might want to just turn Val invisible. It'll end her turn. Everyone else is going to, position themselves reasonably, and then Val approaches to see the pod.
Yeah, I like it.
This is a single action, which will also end our turn, though, so I'll take a little bit of an approach. Oh, okay. Oh, Silksep moves you, too.
Right, because it's a silk step.
That'll do it.
I didn't think about that either. I wonder
Val
what
feels
the
like she wants to
aggro
summon
mechanics
Overwatch or
are in this game, right? Because it's not really been consistent that we can draw aggro.
Yeah, some enemies have decided to... Wait, Guardian... Oh, we can actually see the kinds of things they are capable of doing. They can slice, Guardian, warp, or interfuse as well.
Cool. If they can interfuse, that gets pretty spooky. Enemies interfusing, that's some business.
We should...
So we're not going to silk step with Tyrietta, which I like.
Okay, so the tree
seems
just has another
solid.
Splinter Blast.
What about the fern?
Oh, wait a second. The tree has Splinter Blast. However, it also is a tree type, and the bottom says, some mystics learn to commune with trees. So if I was maybe a mystic that had studied in the ways of druidism, even possibly, I may have a different way of interacting with this tree.
Oh, that's cool. Little hints.
There's also a Fern here, which has Wild Grasp, 2 damage, 5 range. The plant sends out tendrils that grab and draw in an enemy, dealing damage and pinning them. We could try and pull someone into the...
Yeah, we've got the ambush set up, right? We don't even have to do it this turn. We can wait.
We don't have to, but we totally could.
Yeah, let's just get it going. Let's get it popping. We good.
Pulls it into the Overwatch. It takes a hit from the prepared shot.
Pretty much dead.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to see it.
Should we extinguish this fire, actually?
Mm-hmm.
I think so, right? Yeah. Oh no, they took the tree. Oh, we're all clumped together. It's actually kind of scary.
Little bit.
Did they interfuse with each other?
No. This interfused with a Thrixel. The lantern and the tree also interfuse with a Thrixel.
Can we compete for their psychic connection?
Oh, I do wonder. Let's go to F2. Yeah. That's Cody. I would have to... I'd have to withdraw as a swift action to interfuse with a new target, which I have the ability to do. We may not even want the Fern anymore.
Yeah, since we've already pulled, we probably want something to try to do damage. Or we have Compulsion, too. We can just get an enemy after this.
We may want to...
I like it. I want to do the science.
I do want to do the science as well, but we may want Tyrietta to just take a couple shots first. Because she could just kill one of the targets that's doing an interfuse, and then we can compete on the other one, and it's less of a downside for us.
Although, do we want Val to get the kill for that more actions?
Yeah, Val getting a free action out of it seems like a good idea.
Maybe take that diagonal hit and then leave. Use your action to retreat. You like it? It's a hit and run. Get in. Stab, assassinate. Get back out. Your position, you're like, I'm going to get in, I'm going to double stab. 2 stabs.
Yeah, but the thing is, we've got that Dweaver in the back line as well that we have to worry about.
Scary.
Although that hasn't infused to anything yet. Interfused to anything yet.
Yeah.
So it may not be too threatening. It does have slice, you're right. Okay, let's go on the diagonal.
Okay. Man, they got a lot of cool stuff back there in their little den.
Excuse me? Strike?
Oh, does Strike not have enough range to go diagonal? Yo.
We do have the ability to undo a turn, so I'm gonna undo that.
That's good. Yeah, that's a lesson learned. There's our knowledge gained. Stunt. Hidden
Perfect.
Thing.
Another action immediately
damage
available
should we
for
do
us,
this
and we
other
have the
one?
ability to run away. I think we
Maybe
should.
we push
I think you're
here.
right. You want to push?
Do we have another shot? Like, can we get the kill on this other one? If
Yeah,
not, we
Tyrietta
retreat.
hasn't done anything yet. In fact, no one except for Val has.
If we can get the kill on this thing, then that's pretty stonks. Because the other one's going to want to do some interfusion business.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh! Freaking deaded, mate.
Val got him.
Job
Okay,
done.
so Cody...
Make a wall. Or do this.
Or can Cody,
Oh, can-
like, avoid the Dweever's effect in some way by interfusing with something else and then pulling them away?
Mm-hmm. Or just killing them, basically. It would be nice. The plant, I think, that we have right now, it's a pull and an entanglement, I think. But the problem is that it's entangled them right next to our rogue, right? Otherwise, that would be a perfect pin. She doesn't still have a move, does she?
Val? No. Nah, she's done.
Yeah.
Only once per turn does Thornback
move,
trigger.
attack, and then attack. Yeah. So she's effectively 3 actions.
What can you
And we
do,
can't quite get
Yorvir?
Yorvir in there. Yeah, what is your purpose, Yorvi?
I exist to dispense damage and take it. That's about
I'm
it.
a
but-
simple man. Can we get them in there? And well, they won't have an action left for Guardian, I guess.
Interesting. So these are still interfused, but they're interfused with the corpse of a Thrixel. Like,
Weird.
the tree is no
freaking
longer
weird.
interfused. Interesting.
Yeah, because you connect part of your spirit. You know what wouldn't surprise me is if there was like an ability that's like effectively Horcrux, like interfused, and as long as that thing exists, you can't die in some way. Like you can only be stunned or something.
Turn something into a sudden phylactery.
Sudden phylactery, I like that. Yeah. That sounds like a magic card.
Just a touch.
Sudden
This-
phylactery. Anybody at the table playing red hates you. Congratulations.
Well, it's turn 5 and I failed to kill you. All right, your turn. You win.
Therefore, I guess I lose, but over the next 25 turns.
Yep.
Let's get going.
Maybe we extinguish the lantern? Because, I don't know, maybe it can still be controlled.
Dweaver doesn't move, right? Does that one not move until we... Oh, that's only if they Guardian. Okay, that's not describing their behavior. That describes
Yes.
a move. Right,
That's the possibility set.
Yeah, they're quite healthy. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the initial plan of retreat was the best. It felt really good to close down the potential threats.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what they're gonna do. I guess we just wall up in some way or another.
I'm gonna see.
Oh, we
like,
can do
if I-
compulsion. Let's do compulsion and push them back.
Great.
Get the hell off my property. Yes. Oh, I forgot we had that. Bibbity bobbity.
It uses its whole turn to just come back.
That's perfect.
Okay, Tyrietta. Should probably rely a little on your damage here. Hard out of range. You can make it into a reasonable position. Shots of
And then we can
50s.
blast it with the rock too. And that'll be that. Actually, the rock blast will be flanking maneuver.
Mm-hmm. Do we
That's
want the
pretty
rock
sweet.
blast to be flanking, or do we want Tyrietta's shot to be flanking? The rock blast is 4 damage. Tyrietta's shot, it looks like it represents 2 damage on board right now, but it's a 59% chance to hit. We might
Right,
get a
and that's
higher
the
chance
thing.
to hit with the discus.
Do you want to interfuse and look at the attack and see what we're working with? If that's always going to be the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Discus. A Tiscus or Tascus? You know, and it might be
75.
Discus first. Nice, because that sets us up for all of our melee and bow flanks. So I think it's Discus, and then we've got stabs, and we've got bows.
Man, Yorvir
We could
feels
probably
real
kill-
sad with low mobility in the back line here.
I know, man. I know. But that's just initial placement, you know. We could have spent more time getting Yorvir up to the front if we wanted to, but we saw the chance to scout and get a nice early attack in before things got funky.
Let's just swap away from you for the moment. Go to Val.
It definitely feels like that one ability. Didn't Yorvir have like a jump step thing? Karmic sidestep? Cosmic hip hop? One of the 3 abilities was like every other turn you can get a swift action to move 3 spaces.
Yes.
And
That one.
that'd be pretty nice. Yeah.
That does seem like it'd be particularly useful here.
Yeah, but we've already won, right? We do a shot for 2, and then we go do a stab for 4 again or whatever.
The problem is the Dweaver has got Guardian up, and they also block 1 damage per initial strike as well. So I don't think they would go down in that circumstance. Maybe
so
we put Yorvir at the front.
Yorvir there, yeah, and just wait. Waste their Guardian. Silk Step here, actually. Only trouble with Silk Stepping over there is that now, whoa, we broke our wall, but actually it worked out for us perfectly.
I forgot they could do that.
It's pretty sweet.
How dare they?
I like it.
Although, the fact that Cody has the ability to just like...
Oh, poor Yorvir.
Yeah.
What is my purpose? That Cody has what?
You chase enemies and then let them go. That's your purpose. The fact that Yorvir has the ability to just like interfuse... Wait, hang on. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do it from the other side. I thought I was going to be able to interfuse this here, but apparently that's not within our purview. Maybe. Dang. I was thinking about trying to get just constantly doing the plays that we were doing last time of have Cody interfuse something that then sets up a flanking.
Right, which was pretty sweet. This one can't attack, I think. It just gets lit. But maybe that gives us better hit.
I was hoping it was going to blind them, but they don't appear to have cared at all.
I bet it increases our hit rate. I bet that became our flank. Yeah.
So we're attacking from 100% hidden.
Which ignores armor, nice. And then shoot. GG. Clean fight.
GG.
No damage taken there, actually. So our aggressive path played out quite nicely. Oh. Okay. All right. We found a whole weapon. A great axe. The Sun Tusk. 6 damage, 1.6 range. Which probably... We should look to see if the range on Val of the knife is below 1. Maybe you need at least 1 to hit the diagonal or something.
1.1. Yep.
Oh, weird. Yeah.
So it might be 1.5 to hit a diagonal.
Right. 1. What? Yeah, or some, some Pythagorean nonsense. Anyway.
Square root of 2.
This is pretty sweet. Do we actually just replace the frying pan?
The square root of 2 is 1.41 in that area, right? So yeah, 1.5 in that world would have the ability to hit it. And if it's doing a divinity kind of system, then yeah, that Pythagorean
it's a 1
holds.
point. Yeah.
It's a unit triangle.
What about this play? What about... I'm sorry for stomping on your Pythagoras, by the way.
Please.
I didn't mean to talk over you at all. You know how I feel about mathematics. I love a little bit of geometris in my...
That is all good.
My
That was the end. That was all I had to say.
What if... Is there a strong reason to not make a great axe hidden rogue? Like, can we get some sweet Silk Step into Suntusk Smash? Just replace the bow. We don't need range.
God, you're right. It
It's simply
shreds
beyond it.
armor. I'm just comparing it to the melee weapon that we otherwise would use there. It shreds armor. It's got a melee. I don't know if there's any good reason not to do that, save the fact that daggers do double damage when flanking, but we haven't been able to use the flanking tactics significantly consistently.
I think you should just replace the bow, yeah.
Oh,
and then that way we have
100%.
access to both in case we do get a dagger thing. Yeah.
This isn't
A
Suntusk.
rogue's best friend. Yeah, it's just a really... The blacksmith is fired, unfortunately. They have been fired.
Wait,
What is
let's
this
make it a
clickbait?
YouTube video title. Hang on.
A large... You just needed to add a question mark and you would have been there. This axe is a bow? God dang it. Calamities. Your enemies improve their strategies after every fight. This monster is now stronger. They already had 9 life. Now they have more.
Okay. So hang
By a
on.
lot.
You're right.
Mm.
In that So I interpreted the calamity system as exclusively triggering on some milestone of time.
Right.
But the fact that it is directly related to the enemies that you are fighting definitely brings it more into the realm of the Shadow of War. I apologize. That is the kind of thing that I wasn't perceiving.
No,
at
it's
the
okay.
time. But
There's nothing for you to apologize about. We're only exploring, you know? Just
Get him, Dweever.
wait,
Mr.
don't get him,
Rager.
Dweever. We're M.
Wait a
in
minute. It's us. Don't do it.
What?
Do you want to secure this place? Or not worth?
I mean, look, we could totally secure it and just get a weapon
let's
or
do it.
whatever.
Getting these places back in the hands of people who tend them, that's our real work, man.
I love that you already logged it in your head as thought it was going to be, because I accidentally clicked too quickly there, assuming the text was the same as last time. Which it won't be, right? It's an evolving story.
I'm about it. Yeah. Research complete. A thorough delving through the mysteries of Tama Breath has proven rewarding. Plenty to satisfy the curious, like chance to rest our bones too, which was nice. Tama Breath will return to the hands of the common folk. While they tend it, the site will provide resources at the end of each chapter. Yep, same as last. You get some heartwoods and some spell threads, but what we need is a crafter. And a fang axe. Can we see the flavor text?
Oh, for the fang axe? Oh, right. I'm over it.
Forged by long-dead roamers of the Wilderlands, these acts are thought to have been evolving works of art, reflecting both 12 dentists and also 13 dentists.
It is an artifact, and as such, it will deal bonus damage to Dralvin, +1 stunt damage on them. It's doing 3 stunt damage by base as well, that bad boy right there. And it's got Melee Strike on it.
What's the stunt system again?
I'm not entirely certain.
What does it mean?
We'll pull that up as soon as we can outside of this, but I feel like this will just throw on your beer.
Yeah. I would. The problem is that I'm going to run into, and this is where you can help me, is when I start thinking about a character in a party or company game, I start. These games are really complex, right? Just think of the combinatorics of it. You got lots of characters with lots of potential futures, lots of weapons, and so I start to focus on one character, and I start to notice the ways that could be strong. And before you know it, I'll be like, "Oh, an axe? That goes on our rogue. Oh wow, a staff? That goes on the rogue. A polearm? That goes on the rogue." You know what I mean? Do you do this too? You're just like, you know what would make the game simpler? If I only thought about the strong thing I could do on one character. But that's both not as fun and also not optimal, right? Like even like science aside. So let's gear our whole team. But yeah, I was sitting there thinking like, dang, that looks like that might be pretty good on the rogue.
That was one of my immediate thoughts there as well. I do, though, I think the flavor of the rogue wielding a great axe rather than a hand axe just sits so well with me.
Yeah, you gotta like silk step in and creep up and then just. Let's look at irritant. Nice.
When your rival stunts, you get plus 35% to stunt until you successfully stunt. I'm assuming at this point that is crit. Let's see if this is going to tell us.
Are you saying that stunting is a habit?
Just stunting on them constantly.
Put it in the hat.
I'm unfortunately unfamiliar with that one.
Where is the text for us to learn about this mechanic? Stunting is also apparently a secret. That is written in plain text on every weapon. We saw some like stunt stuff going on, right? Like we saw stunt text pop up in that last fight, didn't we?
We did indeed. I don't know if it was like a full pop-up like these to tell us exactly what was going on. We'll see. We'll see.
You know what? We'll notice it. We'll just try to observe. We'll simply observe.
Let's send a scout out here as well. The 2 hunters also reducing our time needed here. Perfect.
I like the sun coming through. The sun will come out tomorrow. Okay, Bronberry.
Let's achieve our other objectives first.
What?
Clear all hostile sites. Oh, eliminate all monsters from... Oh! There's lurking gorgons here. Gotta fight them.
Nice. Nice. I didn't even notice that tile.
Wait, no, we must accomplish
And-
our other goals before we can start this fight. Wait, hang on.
All
let's
hostiles-
patrol to clear the infestation, then do it.
Okay. Okay. We're learning. Calamities! Wow, all of them. Your enemies advance their plans over time. The row have extra health. Seekers are added. Watchmen is who watches, and the raccoon got healthier. Okay. We can cancel one if we wanted to spend a LP.
Nothing happened. Nothing ever
Simply-
happened, Teak.
Simply don't.
What if simply
These probably
not
won't be
instead?
useful. Hey, resources are for using. Money is for spending. Life is for living. And rogues are for wielding great axes.
We absolutely need to get into a battle with the rogue wielding the great axe here. Unfortunately, it does look like the game is just saying, hey,
Maybe
No.
maybe it's the place to the west. Maybe they're saying no. There's another, not on wild, but 2 up into the like wop, and then 1 more wop. Nope, they're impassable.
that's
Okay.
not impossible.
Do we have to scout the other places?
I think that may be the case. I think it's asking us to clear all of the hostile sites in all of these areas, and then at the end of
And
that,
then-
send an assault out
okay.
on Einfastel.
Okay. Okay. I didn't understand, but now I do.
Mhm.
And that's how it works. Our little tokens moving is so delightful. Worlds apart.
They're looking resolute. Turns around, looking around, seeing if you can see anything. What's wrong?
I sense magic.
Gorgons?
No. This feels like something is lingering. Come on, it's this way.
What is it?
It's an overgrown mess. That's what it is. Like, help me uncover it. Soon. There we go. Ah, that's a nice strong font. What a rush.
What you talking about? We just pulled some weeds. I don't feel anything.
It's a font of spell thread. It feels like someone is pouring honeyed sunlight woven with strands of fire through my body. Oh, Cody. Yep. I knew it.
Honey, sunlight.
What was in your Cheerios, Cody? Yes, sunlight and starshine. While at the same time, it's an unfurling to the worlds around you, to the spirit of a place or a thing.
Objects have spirits?
Interaction. Well, not like conscious ones. It's more that we're connected to everything. Spell thread, woven between all of reality, dude.
Sometimes I feel like there's an entire world I'm missing.
Maybe the frying pan hit your beard. That's how I feel when you talk about tactics.
What happens when you touch it?
Touch it. Well, I don't know. I've always sort of worked with the energies from afar.
Let's find out.
That face is awesome. Touch it.
I love this motion line.
Oh no. Wait, is your beer about to become magic?
May well be.
Or maybe dead? Oh no! Are you okay, Yorvir?
Yes? I'm okay.
They became a smurf?
Whoa. Like honey. And sunlight. And fire. And I feel...
Connected?
Yeah, exactly. It's everything around us. Or is that even in me? Am I not the same as that tree? As that?
Come on, Yorvir. We can chat about this on the road. So what, he became spell touched? Yorvir the spell touched?
I'm
Click on
pretty
his-
sure. I'm pretty sure Yorvin just dropped acid.
Do you get it now? Yorvir? It's
We're
like the trees are
connected
melting.
to
We're
everything.
connected.
I'm seeing the textures move around. Is that usual? Is that usual? Is that like honey and sunlight and fire and my face looks weird in the mirror? Is that usual?
I thought we
Pine-
just pulled some weeds. No, that's not weed, Yorvir.
You'd be familiar, wouldn't you, Shaggy? Build a station here to earn resources, but it's a legacy point cost that we do not have the ability to pay currently.
No, our LP. We spent it all on stopping the raccoons from eating. Dang it.
I suspected that we were immediately going to the quest sign off bell.
But this is how you learn.
The Umwild has been revealed. We must assault the Grimfurrow boilers.
Let us take it down. Go
in
ahead.
The deep caverns beneath Grimfurrow boilers.
Val, keep up.
You don't like the way I rear guard? Feel free to do it yourself. Besides, all the torches are up in the front. It's hard to see where I'm. Whoa! Ow! What?
Oh God!
Where?
I saw her looking up, and it looked like it's like, oh, Val, your head is on sideways. Okay, it's like a really spookily drawn.
Yep. My body is just my ponytail, actually. Wow. What is that? How long has that been down here? How much will it tick off Cody if I take it?
Drac, you must collect the precursor stones.
It's jammed in there pretty tight. I bet I could pry it out, though.
Yes, of
I
course.
can just get my knife under there.
You know what she thinks is a knife, Rhaps. I think she's getting it out.
Yeah, that's true.
She's getting the stone.
Something's wrong. What's?
Oh no. Drac.
Ah!
Oh God.
Oh. What? What was? Ah, nuts.
Val, there you are. Where did you? Like, what happened to your face, dude?
I'm not. So there was a gem in the statue. I guess someone forgot to put up the sign that said, "Cursed gem, do not touch."
Well, whatever happened, the Gorgons must have heard that scream. Form up. They'll be all over us now.
So that's the thing that we just seen is two of our characters being fundamentally altered in some fashion.
Yeah.
And that is a way of showing like the kind of like the experiences of the characters being through, right? It's effectively battle scars in a different fashion, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Back when
But more fun. More
Sorry.
fun because you don't just get it randomly. I like the DD system of like you just get some random traits, but I really like when it's more like they're not random. Here's the story of how you got this trait. You know, it makes it slower, but it's also more like it's more engrossing in that way. Sorry, what were you saying about a previous campaign?
Interestingly, it does tie directly into that. Back when I was doing the little bit of DMing that I have done, I've been mostly a player in my D&D, but I developed a world and ran a one-shot to begin that world. And in particular, I had a really heavy focus around something that I was calling at the time the Delta system. And the Delta system was inspired by the cursed the cursed trait that you could have in Fallout 1. Jinxed that you could have in Fallout 1, which just made everyone super unlucky. So like you would pull out a gun and then you'd try and fire it at someone, it'd explode in your hand, you'd lose half of your arm, and then they'd have an attack dog that would come up and try and bite your leg, but it would break its own leg in the trip over to you, things like that, right? Like everyone just had
everything, just disaster everywhere all the time.
Exactly, right? So failures were worse, but they were also more common And the kind of like big swinginess of it and everything being kind of against you felt like really interesting to me. But the thing that I took mostly away from it was the idea of critical failures being really critical failures, and then what we think of typically as a critical failure being a normal failure, a little bit more common.
Right.
So I developed the Delta system, which was like, if the DC for something, difficulty check, by the by, if the difficulty check for something is like set at 15, which means if you roll your d20 and then the modifier for the ability gets added to it or subtracted for it possibly, and then if that's above the DC, you succeed. If it's below the DC, you fail, right? And then some DMs will do like, you know, a 1 and a 20 will give you some gigantic effect
Guarantees.
one way or the other.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes there'll be guarantees, but like, you know, rolling a nat 20 on eating the sun is still not gonna work.
Yeah. Right.
But
Hey, that's well put.
I was really interested, and I thought that the system by which you critically fail, succeed, or critically succeed was just a little bit denser than it needed to be. So the Delta system was like, if there's a DC of 15 and a Delta of 4, if you roll 11 or below, so the DC minus the Delta, then you have critically failed. If you nat a 1, that's a super critical fail, my man. You really screwed up, right? And I mentioned this to the players specifically before the campaign started, and I was like, it will be calamitous or it will be great when you roll nats. They will restore the feeling of like, oh yes, a nat 20, oh yes, a nat 1, those kinds of, well, not necessarily, oh yes, a nat 1.
Right. Oh, yeah, story, love story. Ooh, right, right there, right in my neck.
So it was dragging out the possibilities further, right, and creating a wider range of things that occur. The reason that I mentioned this is because one of the first roles that happened in the campaign was Pete's character, Rufus Nightjar, was attempting to investigate a mysterious letter that had appeared at the estate.
Okay.
And he rolled the investigation check and was reading through the letter. And I described everything on the letter to him. He nat wanted it. So he could read. He still knows how to read. But it's in this beautiful emerald ink. And the seal on the back is this beautiful, like, Icarus emerald color, right?
Uh-huh.
And then the other character looks at the note and it's red. I made Pete's character colorblind because he failed that roll on a nat 1. And it was fun, and it was this way of like fundamentally changing the character in a way that really didn't have a dramatic impact.
But it just was like, oh, that's going to come up against, you know? Yeah.
Exactly. And it was related to the story as it was playing out at the time. There were a couple other things that happened later on with results of crits up and down as well. But that kind of like, this character modification is a exceptional result, positive or negative, exceptional either way.
Right.
As part of the story. So it is not just a battle scar that you are wearing, but it's a battle scar with the story.
Yeah.
And that's what I
that
like.
a lot.
Using that whole thing to link back to, that's what I like about the fact that it is giving you an event to set up.
Yep.
And also your characterization, not only your mental characterization of them, but also... Exactly. Your characterization of them mentally is what will help you guide that choice possibly as well. But also the characterization of the character may even pre-select the choices that are possible. Super interesting.
Yeah. Love it.
All foes have 1 temporary hit point here, 2 rages, 1 raccoon, and a row.
It's scaling the fights pretty fast, which is cool. Well, maybe it won't feel... Who was that?
Excuse me? This is a leaf spirit. It is skittish. It won't stick around for long. We have to catch it quick.
Oh, this is the loot goblin. Okay.
Well, I mean, we have compulsion on Cody.
Yep.
So what if Cody, like, would you be able to target it from here?
7 spaces, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Maybe it's not quite as far. Yeah, I don't know that compulsion follows the exact same rules, or maybe we can't compel this spirit.
Yeah, perhaps it's not considered an enemy, and as a result, we cannot compel it. Oh, I can't undo that move because we just popped a...
Yeah, because Fog of War, because we revealed. Well, that's okay. We will still stop this thing. We'll shoot it, maybe?
Do we want to damage it? Is that our plan? It says catch it. It doesn't say kill it.
Well, I suspect that catch. Like, what are we gonna do? Right?
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I think like
I think we have to kill it.
one play, which is try and do this.
Yeah.
It doesn't even want to attack it. It won't let me.
Weird. Maybe it literally does mean catch up to it. And then what? Just say hi?
Yeah.
Well, can we get to it with Cody with that second move?
Well, I mean, we can stand next to it.
Yeah.
Might just be what we need to do. And it is.
Whoa. A leaf spirit. Are you all right, little one? Oh, wow. You can either enchant the tier 1, the tier 0 staff and replace it with a tier 1 leaf staff, or we can get a legacy point, which we'll immediately spend. So we should enchant the staff. Abolisher of the Titan. What a hardcore name.
It has damage 4, range 2.1, stunt damage of 1, spell damage of 2, block of 15. It is a well-made staff imbued with wild-growing spirit of leaves. It has a leaf effect on it. Its stunt effect is grants 2 temporary health to the hero. I mean...
Stunt. What does it mean?
What does it
Maybe
mean?
stunt is just a random chance. Maybe stunting is like critting.
How much extra damage it deals on stunt? Yeah, I think it is just a crit, right? Like,
Yeah.
nothing else is talking about crit. So
But they
doesn't
don't
make
call
sense.
it crit because what it's trying to say is that it's not just crit is usually just you do more damage, right? But stunt has these other effects, like when you stunt with the staff, you get the 2 temp health, right? So it's an extra, it's the move with panache. You don't just swing the sword and cast out a magic missile. You dive through the foliage and catch the enemy just as they head for cover. It's a stunt. Yeah.
I like the idea of it. Do we want to continue calling it the Abolisher of the Titan, or have you got a better name for this?
I like the name as it is. I immediately saw the name and was like, that's sweet. Sometimes I feel very creative where I'm like, I like your story, but frankly, my story is going to be more fun, so I'm going to rewrite it all. And some days it's like, no, that was pretty good, video game. You really did it. You nailed it on that one.
Yep. I feel similarly. Sometimes you just get inspired,
Yeah, exactly. Are we going to do a silk step, like go close and then silk step the remaining distance forward and then be ready to get them?
Silk step moves us an elusive step. Does it mention its size? Because I want to see, like, I can't move into where Yorvir's space is at the moment.
Right.
But I can just still move here. Good.
Okay. What I was saying was, I like that the appearance of the forest spirit incentivized us to play suboptimally, right? We knew it was going to run away, so we ran in and engaged combat right away, which we wouldn't have usually done.
Yeah, it kind of
I like
reminds
that.
me of like the Mells in XCOM Enemy Unknown, Enemy Within.
Yeah, you got to kind of put your neck out if you're going to get it. Yeah, I think that's a good comparison.
38, so we don't really have the ability to do that.
I'm a little
Val
worried
would
about
just have
Val.
the ability to go inside, though.
Like, what happened to her? We'll have to check our character cards after this fight.
No, I need to know. She's
Gem
crystalline. Shine on, you crazy diamond, and she's got a gem eye. Plus 6% chance to stunt. Wow. All right.
Crazy diamond.
Let's stunt on him, maybe? Also, I can attack diagonally now.
Which Pink Floyd album is that, man?
Unfortunately, my Pink Floyd knowledge is heavily limited. Like, it's The Wall, and that's it.
Oh, okay. It's not animals. I don't think it's... Is it Wish You Were Here? I don't know.
I wish I knew.
I wish I knew. Because in some ways, by bringing it up, it's always a funny gambit, isn't it? I've revealed that I know something about Pink Floyd and Pink Floyd's albums. And I know this song, but I can't place the album. I feel like when you stick your neck out like that, luckily I don't care about this, but you risk discrediting yourself by offering some information but not the rest. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I do.
I do.
This sense of like, I've told you just enough to prove that I don't know the rest. I feel like we run into that as streamers all the time. All the time as streamers and YouTubers, content creators, you're always offering that you don't quite know everything. You know just enough.
We
Yeah.
do, and it's like I've had cause to think about it recently, specifically in that context as well. And I like what I ultimately came up with is if I could sit there and spout exclusively correct, fully remembered knowledge about all of the things that I talk about, I would be
Right.
Wikipedia. That's what I would
Right.
be. I would not be a person.
Right.
I would be a wiki.
You have so many interests. You can't remember everything about all of them all the time, right?
So sometimes I just have to go, all right, look. Okay, I forgot. It's Mello, not Bello, when he's opening the door. Sometimes
Right.
that'll happen. And yeah, I claim, like, quite close to my soul that I like Lord of the Rings a hell of a lot.
Right.
But look, it'll happen. You know?
Yeah,
And
but that's kind of
I
like
feel
the
bad
meme,
about it
right? It's
afterwards,
like,
definitely, but
oh,
it'll-
you like Lord of the Rings? Recite every word from every book.
Yeah,
You know, it's
exactly.
like, it's like, okay, I get it.
So we've got some object that is
Oh, interesting.
barring our access to this final area.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should probably
set
just
up.
make an approach.
Get some cover, do some looking. Are we gonna withdraw our connection to the, and perhaps advance? Can we connect to the gate?
Oh, great question. Let's try it. So with Ron there, if I can connect with the gate, I cannot yet do it.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah, I like that move right there. That seems pretty snaz. I thought I saw the other critter, but we must have already fought it. Jorvir. What are you
Val
doing?
Can go back into. Get him, Val.
Nice.
She
Did we
probably didn't
use the
need to
new
do that.
weapon, by the way?
Yeah, she's got
Looks
the
like
great
we
axe.
did. How do you switch between them?
It's so outside of combat, I had the ability to just click a button in the
Okay.
screen that just said swap to the other weapon.
Okay. Can you use like an action during combat to switch? Yep.
Yes.
Swap weapon. Yep. Cool.
Although interestingly, it's a free action,
Oh wow. But
yeah.
probably, I mean,
not even
okay.
swift.
Interesting. So I guess if you had cause to do that, like you were about to get the, bonus stunt damage or whatever. Yeah, I bet as our weapons start getting more interesting, there'll be more cause, right? It's like, oh, in this situation, I'm flanking, so I should do this, but in this situation, I need that knockback, or I want this sleep chance or something. Oh my gosh, the raccoon is right there. It was waiting.
It is right there. We're gonna have to find some way to approach it because it's a ranged enemy. It's got tail spikes.
Can you
It's
compel
only
it to go
move
into
as
the
well.
fire?
Can I compel it to go into the fire? I don't know if it'll have enough movement to have the ability to go into the fire, but maybe we could do that to the Rager. Cody.
Mr. Rager. Oh, you need an attack. Yo, hit with the Mystic. I'm really curious.
I mean, it'll just tell us exactly what he would do with it.
Oh, true.
4
And we
damage,
just upgraded it.
1 stunt.
It's a fair bit.
It's not nothing.
Yeah, and this is a ranged combatant, so maybe we should just be a battle mystic.
I kind of want to just quickly see. Yeah, I could compulse the Rager if I wanted to try and move it into the fire, though.
Which is pretty sweet.
I do just want to
We are going to get hit by this raccoon, but that's probably fine. Jump
catch on fire.
into the fire. Farewell, Mr. Rager.
Now,
May
we
you
did not
burn
have
swiftly.
a... yeah, exactly. We didn't
Oh,
have
nice.
our thing go off last turn, so we just have 2 shots there. Raccoon goes down.
Which is a deaded enemy.
Mhm.
So we
Got
just
the
like
Guardian
get
there.
that cover. Oh, nice guard. Nice. And get our silk-stepped, battle axe wielding rogue online. You'll love to see it.
Does extra
Dude, this
damage at the
game's
start of the
fun,
round as
man.
well. You could see me? I was invisible.
That's not fair that you can look into the gray plane. And frankly, we're gonna have to kill you about that. Like really, really hard. You're gonna die.
Who should... You know what? Let's do it. Battle Mystic.
Yeah, battle mystic, smash.
Dumb.
I love how that it just kind of like lunges forward. It's fantastic. Yo, the fire move was pretty swag. I don't know if it was tactically the strongest move, but it was role-playing the strongest move. That's for sure.
It was definitely the move I just wanted to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Warding. So I
Great
believe this is
Yorvir.
protection
Yeah.
against magical damage.
Oh, interesting. Oh, we'll take it. Whew, that was close. Thanks for blowing our cover.
Yeah, thanks for the sympathy. I'm stuck with a freaking gem face here.
So, now what?
I don't know. It feels cold, I guess. But it sees like normal. I guess I learned to live with it. Who knows? Maybe this will turn out to be a blessing in disguise. Maybe it'll give me +6 chance to stunt.
Or something. Just try to keep up next time, okay? Jack, you must collect the precursor stones.
Calamities.
Monster is now stronger. Row go up.
Need to trail the corrupted ground behind
Where it moves.
I see, I see,
Okay.
I see.
We're stacking. Oh, are these our calamity cards?
Yes, these are the calamity
calamity
cards shown
cards
there. The calamities shown
Represent the upgrade. That's cool. That's cool. I was thinking, like, why don't we have any in it? But it's because we spent 4 LP stopping a wave of calamities.
Yep. I don't
Makes
know
sense.
if we have the
Makes sense.
ability to like purge these with legacy points at any point.
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, it feels like it's okay. Jump into the fire. And look, it shows the gym thing there. You can see it on the map.
Ah,
thing where we
yeah,
got
it
the gym
does.
in our
And
face.
that's the font
It
from
shows
the other
major
area.
event. Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
We still had
It-
something left to do over in that other area. Oh, we needed an LP for it, right? It was like,
we do, and we have one.
okay, hell yeah. But we should secure this area, maybe. Oh, we can do this without going.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It would have brought up a screen had we had to go.
Yeah, yeah.
I
The
do
Townlings of
love
Drifty- oh,
hard
go ahead.
labor. Should we lend a hand? Sorry.
No, it's all good. I misordered. According to the verticality, the Townlings of Drifty Snake have been dreaming of building a new threshery out here, or a lumberyard. The wild folk want to restore the woodland altar. Build a station. Spend 1 legacy point. Stations provide resources at the end of each chapter. Spend resources to upgrade hero weapons and armor. Threshery provides heartwoods and fabrics. A lumberyard provides 2 heartwoods. A primal altar provides hide and spell thread. Very different. It's interesting.
Intriguing. I think we could probably just click Threshery.
Yeah. Yeah, because aren't we getting spell thread from somewhere else too? Or am I missing?
Yeah, we got some extra spell thread the last time that we captured an area. So yeah, now it's saying, hey, do you want to do that there? Let's do
Okay.
the area we're currently at.
Yeah.
We made the corpses. We should at least bury and burn them too, right? Meanwhile, our enemy moves.
Same text. Interesting. Cool. Which makes sense. You know, you're going to have some kind of boilerplate.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get them.
Give me an item.
Oh, we're seeing some healing occurring here.
Nice. Long rest.
A thorough delving through the mysteries of the Grimfurrow boilers has proven rewarding.
Please, let's not fight over who gets the item.
Grimfurrow
Yep.
boilers will return to the hands of the common folks. While they tend it, the site will produce resources at the end of each chapter, heartwood, hide, and a spell thread.
We've grave pelt pauldron.
Yep. More armor. That looks like a druid weapon. And we would replace Starslate Paul. This is the first time we've seen a replacement other than for weapons, which would cause us to gain armor but lose warding. I think we should put this on whoever else we think is going to get hit, which might
That'd be
actually
Val,
be
right?
Val. Yeah. I mean, she's gotten hit once. 27?
27? Where's 27?
That's how old she is. It's outrageous.
Oh god,
I'm
she's
outraged.
the same age as me. When am I going to get a gem in my face?
And when are you going to be a greenhorn hunter, Rhaps?
I know, I'm still a new recruit.
Some people are just ahead of the curve.
Val.
Let's do it. Let's get them.
Let's do it.
Do it.
Give
Do
it.
it. Do it.
Ah, it's just established. Cool.
I really, I
No
like
problems.
the difference in pace of like, you know, sometimes you're just thinking about the map, doing interactions, and sometimes you're getting real deep in the mucky muck with a fight.
Mhm.
And then you back it back up and you're kind of, I wonder how big the map will get, you know? Like we've got such a small view right now.
We do
Calamities.
indeed. All right, we can't just spend our only LP on, you know, negating one of these
We
enemies,
mustn't.
can we?
We mustn't. We simply let them be. If
Oh,
we were going
God.
to do anything, I guess the double. Maybe there's a world where you negate, you know, even more things on row. Now I'm getting it. Using LP to keep a single enemy from becoming completely overwhelmingly scary is maybe a play, but no, we gotta keep some LP because we've just seen that we can convert the LP into value.
Mm-hmm. We definitely can, right? And then we can convert that back into a higher ability to deal with the calamitous enemies.
Ah, speaking of calamitous enemies, we must assault the gusty lost stills.
Oh wow!
Strength is
Do we need
5,
to do...
but it's +2 from infested tiles. So if we just scout, as in patrol.
Patrol, yeah. Let's do that. I like patrol here. Spend 24 days. Push back the horde. Wow, yeah.
Infest the area.
Will they infest Glamfurrow and then we've got problems? Oh, neighboring infested tile. I see. That's fine. We can deal with 4.
Yeah, why not?
We're not scared of 4.
Everyone's back on full HP. They've spent long enough.
Did you see that huge moth that landed in Val's hair earlier today?
How could I not?
And you weren't going to say anything? That face? Oh. She walked around with that thing sticking out at a jaunty angle for like an hour. Hey, tell me a story. You're the guy with the stories, right?
Well, what would you like to hear?
Choose. Tell me the one about the trickster moon. How about the Fire King and the Raindrop? Nothing too fantastic. Just tell me something that happened to you. It's got to be one of these fantastic stories. Yeah.
Although I do
Don't tell
like
me
the
about your
idea
day.
of nothing too fantastic. Just tell me what happened to you. All right, nothing too fantastic. I'll tell you what happened to me. Right, so I woke up this morning. I had a bowl of Weet-Bix, a smaller bowl of cereal, just filled with Cheerios off to the side as well. I like to keep my mouth guessing as to what's gonna happen. So I dual wield spears. Right, I'm just like glogging them in, right, left, right, and center. It's good. It's a grand time. Right? And then I turned blue. Did I mention that? I'm blue. That you have to see it. Nothing too fantastical, but
notably
I'm
according to the story,
cyan.
that was also like 60 days ago. So I've been just glogging cereal for 60 days.
Look, I don't ask you about your hobbies. I don't judge you.
Let's do Trickster Moon. I like Trickster Moon. Plus, that's her interest too.
You're there told of how the moon used to be a dark hunk of stone until it tricked the sun into giving up some of his light.
And the sun, as you sort of always expected, is an envious sort. The moon knew that a fair fight was out of the question. So while the sun was distracted, the moon flew over the horizon, drawn by a team of fireflies. And to this day, they take refuge in the night sky, shining where the sun will never find them, giving their blessings to those who swiftly move through the shadows.
The faces are so funny. Oh, wow.
Tyrion and Yovia gain temporary speed, +1.
Just a moment. Bogmores and Ragers and Raccoons and Roe. Bogmore's new.
What that Bogmore do, though?
It says, heaving its overgrown body and mucousy plops. Its grasping mouth drips, and it stinks. You're gonna love it.
I guarantee it. Okay, so we got another door that we got to open and broach into it. Nothing else
And
for the rest of the
inside,
environment.
a tower. Who dares knock?
We may want to
think
take a
our
turn to
knocker.
set up for the sake of the silk
Yeah.
step and then getting Yorvir there and all this kind
I
of
agree.
things.
This is finally the time to do it. I agree.
Cody standing in the corner.
May I interfuse through your door?
They so seldom allow you to interfuse through a door.
I
Rude as far
know.
as I'm concerned.
Life is like that.
We had Tyrietta Silk Step instead. Oh, whoopsie.
It's okay. Everybody's silk step now. It's fine.
Silk Step over a Silk Step. Wait, Yorvir is third in the party order. Get you open the door. Whoa!
What do you see? I guess if we interfuse now, we'll get more vision. We should wait. We should interfuse to get the vision, because we'll stay hidden for more than just this turn, right? I think we just stay hidden until we attack.
We will,
We're
but
in
this
the
is also
Great
like
Plain
this room feels like hard cover to everything, so it feels like the next
True.
door is where we need to start setting up again.
True. Okay. I see what you're saying. I respect that. I'm about it.
You can guard. You are Val, so you want to go
cook.
there. Right. Tyrietta, hard line down the back. Wait. Oh, I guess you can just set up ambush.
Just kind of get vision to...
Against the first enemy who enters the threatened tiles, so I can just put that atop us.
You were worried about ambushing your friend? Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be super rude, because that's one of those things that it's like, okay, it's a game. You can design whatever arbitrary rule you want. But is Tyrietta, a master of bow, going to shoot her friend?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's an Overwatch. You know, it's not a shoot the first thing that moves. It's like, yeah.
Like, I can understand with, like meteor storm abilities and stuff like that. Like, friendlies are probably going to be harmed by that, but...
It's an enchantment. It's coming down. Yeah.
Wait. Mm-hmm. So Tyrietta has
Right,
also got a
let's see.
free attack for this turn, so Yorvir, pop that door open.
Oh, baby, we're going to use some free attacks.
But what if we flanked?
Yeah. Let's just push damage. We can probably kill it. Let's get kind of Oh.
There's so many enemies.
Oh, wow. That's big money, baby.
Get him, Yorvir.
God. Oh, should we go get the kill with Val so we can, like, move again? And we can put Val to where we can hit the Rager, too. Oh, you freaking love to see it.
You damned well do. So, hang on. I see.
what will we
I really wish I could see what Val's damage against Bogmore would be
I
here, because
know.
I can see it on the others. No, wait, can I? Not necessarily. The reason is, does Tyrietta get an extra attack even if she moves at the start of this turn after the Overwatch turn?
It just says that she has a swift action. Yeah, that's a good question. Well, you can always
You
move,
must
and if
use
it's
this
gone,
shot
we
before
can undo it.
moving or any other
Okay.
abilities, or you'll lose it.
Okay, so I mean, we might as well send it in, and if it gets a kill, it gets a kill. Looks like it freaking might. Oh, yeah? Well, you're gonna love this.
Oh, Cody has accepted a challenge from a rival rather, and now has plus stun chance.
Nice, nice, nice.
Ooh,
Okay,
that's
there's some
also
funky
corrupted
ground.
land.
Cody is probably just gonna... Oh, you're gonna go try to attack with Cody? I mean, we've got stunt. They'll get temporary health.
Oh no, this is Tyrietta still.
Yeah, but Cody accepted the stunt. You can't stunt an interfused attack, right? We would have to stunt
yeah,
by
I
hitting
imagine
with
you
the
can't.
thing.
Although, what would this be on an interfused barrage? Tools
pretty
are
good.
torn into a deadly whirl, rending targets into a nearby area with their tooly teeth.
And you know what? That might hit both of those baddies.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. It's a lot of damage.
Can't reach it from here, but I can reach it from one space further up.
You love to see it. Interfuse with this bench and delete us, our enemy.
Rogue benefits from the corrupted land here. Corruption slows
wow.
movement at the end of turn. Gorgons on corrupted tiles gain temporary health, and non-Gorgons take damage. So it's at the end of the turn. We can move over it completely fine.
Cool. Okay. You just don't want to stand in it. That checks out. Wow. It's big money.
Big barrage.
Okay, and they both got hit from that side, which means we've set ourselves up for easy flanking.
Also,
Well, maybe not.
Cody appears to have some temporary health and has lost the, oh yeah, watch this.
Whoa!
Cody
we
stunted.
did stunt that then. Okay, you can stunt. Wow, you can stunt your psychic leak with a bench. There is no greater stunt than stunting your telekinetic connection with the world around you.
The greatest stunt
Truly.
that Deborah ever pulled was a 1080 and a half pipe. It was wild as hell.
That's correct. Should we go wall up with Yorvir here since we can't attack if we move again?
Yorvia can't do anything. It's Tyrietta still has moves.
No. I'm saying Val can't attack. So for this move, we could go wall up with Yorvir to be safer.
Good point, well made. This is also going to be another 90-degree attack on this row, right? It's going to be flanking, I'm pretty sure.
It might just be die.
92% chance to hit.
Stunt. Roll them dice. No stunting. Yeah, but that was pretty sweet. Glad we had the wall. That saved us a little life. I mean, frankly, this tower is... I think we still have one more enemy, maybe? There's 4 of them?
Yeah, it definitely seems like we've probably got someone in the other corner. So, Val, if you just a free kill right there.
Wait.
She's
only got 1 action.
That didn't count.
Right?
Why did that not count? Once per turn, after a melee kill, 0 remaining this turn.
Is it possible that because it's called Thornfang, it has to be with a dagger?
I'd be really surprised because she did it last turn. She moved into this position, attacked someone, and then moved away.
Right. You're right.
So maybe you just can't do it as your first action. Oh. Melee strike ends your turn.
Oh, so she did get an action back here. But
Yeah.
we just effectively spent 2 actions on the first. Okay.
I believe so, yes.
I want to say action more. Is there a way for me to say the word action a couple more times as part of this?
You can do if you're My Darkest Dungeon series, where every 3rd word was action economy, which is 2 words. So there was only 1 other word in the mix.
Oh god.
Okay, so we can kind of flank them around here, or we can open the door.
Action economy banana. Action economy raccoon.
It's revealed, but we're hidden.
You can't see me, but I can see we. What is that, a giant egg sack? What is that? That's bad news.
I believe it is some sort of giant egg sack.
Well, we need to get rid of that. We should send that back to the abyss. For sure.
You may just need to dash.
Yorvie turned into a smurf. That's still cracking me up, man. Poor Yorvie. Blocked. And we have temporary HP, man.
Oh, it's a statue.
Okay.
Good cover for adjacent figures.
It's a hell of a statue.
Okay, so Tyrietta will not have the ability to shoot through here. Definitely not. Unless we knock the door down. Or knock the wall down, rather. There may be another enemy in here as well, so Yorvir may not want to flank around.
Remember, we get to see the cards. I think it's 4.
If you've seen 4, I'm happy to.
Okay.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 4.
Okay.
The cards do not lie. Ambush begins. Can we upgrade our ambush on Tyrietta to also be like a pin? That would be awesome. They walk into the ambush and it pins them down. Man, I'd be into that.
Val doesn't need help.
Val is the battle axe rogue if I've ever seen one. Great axe rogue. Oh my!
Oh, we see what happens now on another level. We've been re-offered Zealous Leap. Every other turn you take a swift action to make a daring leap up to 4 spaces away. We've got +1 range with all attacks and abilities on long reach. Stalwart is a swift action. You can enable or disable Stalwart, which gives 3 armor and warding, but reduces his speed by 1/2. Or we have the ability to upgrade something we've already taken. Untouchable will no longer wear off after 1 turn.
Yeah. We've struggled that we've not actually activated this really meaningfully, you know?
It's been really hard because his positioning's been rough.
Yeah, and maybe that's just because, you know, it's not going to work out, but it also could be that we just haven't had to. But I'm very tempted by mobility here, you know? If we can just get him into the right position, he'll be such a better tank. Whoa!
We've also found Grape Arc. A Hunter Armor of Tier 1. It is a negative 0.2 to speed, but 2 to armor, made by sewing metal links and plates into wool, then covering it over with a hardened leather, traditionally grey. This is the standard suit of mail for most stationary marksmen.
So, Tyrietta? You don't need to move a lot. You're a marks person.
Makes a whole bunch of sense to me. Downs that dodge a
Oh,
little
the
bit. but he
dodge
gets that
goes
armor.
down. That's interesting. I guess because the
Armor's-
speed, but
Armor seems to be straight like damage reduction in this game.
yeah,
So-
it's pretty swank. I think it's worth. A ring studded with a gem, +6 stunt chance. We love to stunt.
We do love to stunt. Val already has +6 stunt chance in her gem in her eye as well. What if she just stunted
Yeah.
every hit?
Yeah, but then she loses all that speed, and her mobility is
true.
part of what's letting her get so many kills.
That
I
is
think
true.
we should put stunting on like Cody. That was sweet because he's often getting the setup for flanking.
And he also has the +2 HP as bonus that he gets from stunting.
Yeah.
We see the Gorgon Rager has extra armor now, is stronger, has +1 armor. We don't have the ability to turn that down because that is the enemy that we just happened to fight right there. And let's secure this bad boy to get an item.
One.
Needed elsewhere. Yorvi is restless and follows a promising poster. We are now being given
okay.
opportunities. Do you want to have a look at what this is?
Okay. Yeah, we gotta see what that is.
Whoom. I'll leave you for the narrator text on this.
Ooh. Distant clouds of dust or rain drift in the late sky. Wind drags on Yorvir's clothes, and the windmill roars.
It should trip already. But no, face it. You love this, Yorvi.
With a last look at fading day, he goes in. An especially vicious gust fights him all the way to the entrance. Ack! The door! Ack! Garglin? Yorvir pulls the door closed. The mill keepers, a man named Garglin, a stranger to them. He's provided shelter anyway, and now comes from his cellar with a jug of cool dandelion tea and cups.
Oh boy, what a wind! Wouldn't you know it? No grind to grind.
No
At least it's a
grind,
little bit
grain.
quieter. You should hear when the big wheels gnawing.
Seems risky, a place like this alone. Hard to imagine committing to it and being generous on top of it all.
You're unusually nice, you know, Garglin. Thanks. Hey, I'm fine. I'm just happy for the company. Story is Tyrietta's here told me it was already worth whatever hospitality I've given. But are you two still set on staying for just a night?
Yorvir pulls out the poster he'd found pinned to a tavern door in Drifty Snake. Think you're a hero, dreaming of glory? Dream no more. I'm Xanon Gold, and we need you. Come to the land heroes forgot. Bring a new age of hope to the needy. Xanon Gold.
I think we need it elsewhere.
And in the morning, they continue their journey to that place heroes forgot. Or, in fact, Tyrietta convinces Yorvir to return home. Wait for better weather. We gotta go to the place heroes forgot.
Absolutely.
Yep,
Only get to select a certain amount of heroes for this one.
only
Do we
3.
wanna- Oh, we can't even. Oh, Tyrietta's locked in, so we can either take Cody or Val here.
Yeah, interesting. I think we take our OGs. You know, it makes sense. Take the OGs. As strong as Val is, oh my, they're really...
Oh, this is taking us to Anne Fostel again.
Oh, is it drawing us to the chapter end? Because we took out all the threats.
Ah, you're right. That may be it.
How much further today? We can't be in that big of a hurry. This part of the world is full of tall trees. The earth smells like pepper and ash. Feral bellows occasionally echo and are answered with silence.
The sun's not gone.
I'm beginning to think you're punishing me for something.
Just slides off camera. I should. There's something I've been meaning to say.
Something bad?
I don't plan on going back. to the kinship of Venza? Not for a long
No.
while, and maybe not ever.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
It's all
Oh.
good. And we've had intense battles. Done things that others said were impossible. I don't plan on sitting still or going into hiding or anything like that. I'll keep fighting. But it's hard. I've stayed doing the same thing for so long now. The same way. Calling the same place home, and
A noise interrupts him. It comes from just ahead, a barking voice, a man's voice. They approach a cluster of trees and find beyond it a clearing, a road, and a collection of interesting people.
You know how
often we get that excuse? It's the same guy.
Oh, it is! It's our own
It's the same guy. Yeah. You think you should keep your home safe and do it for nothing? Is that what you're saying?
No, please!
Isn't that the... With a confirming glance at the poster Yorvid had found and followed, Tyrietta passes it forward. Dream no more. I'm Xanon Gold. Same one. Let me be clear. If you don't have the money, that's fine.
It is?
Sure, we're heroes after all. Just fair warning to you. We can't be everywhere at once. Heard there's goblins prowl these hills, and they've been awful burny lately, haven't they, Heimdall?
Right you are, Sir Xanon. Bernie goblins. That's the most emotion we've seen in a face so far in the lady in the back.
She is not about it.
Oh, right here. It's all I've got left. My kids are gone.
The old woman offers the sack she'd been carrying.
What's that? A bag?
Bag of rice. Eesh. You tricky old crone. Fine, keep it. But next time, it's double, right? And it's coin. Or meat would be fine. The old woman hefts the bag of rice, then heads down the road, slow and sad.
Need me to follow?
Oof, I don't know. What do they even do all day that they can't afford a little fee? Suppose we could pay her a visit, see if she was lying.
Oh my god. Good day to you both. No closer now. What's that thing with you guys? Came a long way looking for Xanon Gold.
Saw the we want to be heroes. Oh, did you see my poster? What a pose, right? Didn't I tell you that poster would get a couple?
You aren't gonna make me put up more, are you?
Hey, Yorvir, he thinks we're a couple. What do we say? I didn't mean it that way. Well, you look like you got some danger in you. Come back to the castle, we can talk. Need hero skills though. Can you handle goblins?
If you're saying there's goblins, I'm saying I can make there not be.
The already unpleasant day sours and fades.
They don't look new at this.
They're not. The road withers, but they're able to follow its ghost to a swampy compound among toppled stones. They arrive as dark sets in.
It belonged to a merchant family once. Vagrants are living here. Louse scalps. Wait, actually, that looks like it might be Xanon, but it looks like it's coming from the body of this character.
I know, it's weird,
Tolkien.
right? Yeah, I agree. It belonged to a merchant family once. Vagrants were living here. Louse scalps. We made it ours.
Oh,
This is another
that's
new
a
person,
new,
actually.
yeah, another new
Yeah.
character. You're not from the area? That's lucky for you. I'm Zanny Vane.
What do you think? Nice?
Your castle? I don't really.
It's a work in progress. This little operation you're looking at, oh, it didn't all happen in a day, of course. A stairwell goes underground. Frog noise follows them down the damp steps. It took me a while to scrape enough brave souls together. What Mammy used to say. She said, "Tell me the name of a brave soul, and I'll ask what height to make the coffin." Mammy was a carpenter, is the explanation. They reached the foot of the stairs. A room thick with odors, a stale food, dewy rock mold, brittle leather, and no, it's tannins. Yep. Ooh. A little poop, a little poopy,
I'm getting something else. Plot. There's plot
No,
here.
get out. But anyway, here's what we get down to business: bedrolls, buckskins, barrel stacks, beetroot liquor, and boiled beans.
And bears and Battlestar Galactica.
I almost did it. And you did it, and it wasn't me. I didn't do it. Xanon lights candles and douses his torch as he goes.
Don't forget banditry.
Oh, God.
You're not wrong to try and get paid. Survival's an instinct common survival is an instinct common to people, animals, maybe even lostlings in the realm of fire and fear. But you're more monster than hero.
Yorvir? Oh, is this? You're gonna lecture me, aren't you? It's not just the old woman, is it? It's all the people living here and around. You're taking their money. Food? That's our work. We collect a fee, and exchange, we protect them from whatever.
Yeah, this is a protection racket, my friends.
You think they deserve different? You don't think they'd do the same to me if they could? Assumptions never sound as smart when we have to say them out loud, huh?
As soon as Xanon said that, I was like, that's the kind of thing you can only say and then realize, like, man, I suck.
Oh, man.
It's the Roach's way to live. Snatching foods off the tables of working people.
We're about to have ourselves a bite. That's enough out of your mouth. What were you expecting? Fable pure knights, selfless noble bodies? That's nice for stories. Look around you. We live in the cellar of a ruined something. Maybe there used to be heroes here, but now there's just spiders. We're survivors. We do what we have to. Take when we have to. Speaking of, you've got some valuable pieces yourself.
You get to choose to draw weapons and fight, or...
Convince them to stop, but Yorvir is not the most charismatic. We should probably delete these nerds. I don't think there's another choice.
I mean, is this gonna have a 30% chance to stop the fight, and then 70% chance we fight anyway, or we draw weapons and fight?
Right. That's the question. Well, it could be an interesting interaction too. I'm good either way, but I think that these nerds woke up and chose violence. We've got all the...
And you know what? Just prior to this fight ends our peak. We said at the very start that we were going to be sticking harder to like a 2-hour kind of situation, and it's 2 hours and 53 minutes and 13 seconds at this point.
Which is less than 3.
It is notably less than 3, but it does have the 50%
This is a
loading
2-hour
is.
situation, where situation is loosely defined some number of minutes.
It's got the 50% loading. It's got the extra time that is always going to end up in the takes of a peak.
I like it's funny for trying to get the length here, not to co-opt right on the way out, but it makes it hard to get your length exactly right. But I love the way that the game flows. And you do have moments to save when you're like, oh, do we want to take over this place or whatever? But the fact that it just picks you up and it's like, okay, you want to go to Plot Town, baby? Like, I really liked that pacing. It was actually really cool.
Come on, nerd. Stories over this way.
We just weren't ready. Yeah.
But I wonder if I can pull up any other such screen. No, not necessarily at the moment. So we will have this accompanying the outro. For the moment, I will very quickly say that, hey, you can find the link to this on the Steam page, specifically linked in the description down below. You can also find in that description down below the channels, the various areas where you can view my compatriot, Sneaky Teak here.
I had a blast. I really enjoyed this one. I liked it a lot.
As did I. I know for an absolute fact that I am going to be streaming this in the upcoming week.
Oh, good.
It is usually Sunday evening and Monday evening for the American time zones. You can also go and look at www.twitch.tv/RhapsodyPlays, and it'll have the schedule available on there to give you a little bit of the idea of when I will be live. Very likely
Just
playing
stunt.
this very soon.
Stunt on the game, Rhaps.
Oh, I'm absolutely going to be stunning on the game. I'm going to get 2 gem eyes. I'm just going to...
Yeah.
Nothing.
Double gem eye.
Nothing
Just look
but
like a
gems.
bug.
I'm gonna have him stuck into what is a gem skull atop a gem body. We're just going all gem,
Wow.
all stunt, all the time.
Why not only be gems? Yeah, it's a horse made out of diamonds. That's right.
It's a damned good time, is all I can really say. I know that this is the kind of game that is going to be continually more impressive the longer that you play it as well, obviously, as the save file is kind of like adapting, the world is adapting to the choices that you're making, and obviously you're feeling the result of more layers of compelling choices after the fact as well, getting a little bit more in touch with your own characters, and therefore feeling awful should they happen to die. And that's the kind of thing that that may be best experienced by clicking that link in the description down below and picking up the game for yourself. For the moment, though, my name's Rhapsody. His name has been Sneaky Teak. This has been Rhaps Teak Take a Peek at Wildermyth. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. There's a playlist in the description down below with all the stuff, past, present, and future in the Rhaps Teak Take a Peek series, as well as the ladder streak. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.